Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Asato ma sadgamaya तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय आविराविर्मयेधि ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम. Good morning, friends. So now we will start with our Vedic chanting. And after that, then we'll introduce him as our speaker, Swami Sarvapriyananda ji, and then first talk, and then question answer. After that, a closing song for the first session. Then there will be a lunch break, and then we'll meet at about 1:45, and then second talk will be given, followed by question answer, and then Thanksgiving. Then there will be closing song. So this is the program today, and we can start with our Shanti mantras.
गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् महागणपतये नमः. प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामभित्र्यवतु वाग्देव्यै नमः. सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. प्रातः स्मरामि हृदि संस्फुरदात्मतत्त्वम् सच्चित्सुखं परमहंसगतिं तुरीयम् यत्स्वप्नजागरसुषुप्तिमवैति नित्यम् तद्ब्रह्म निष्कलमहन्न च भूतसङ्गः. प्रातर्भजामि मनसा वचसामगम्यम् वाचो विभान्ति निखिला यदनुग्रहेण यन्नेति नेति अवोचम् स्तन्देव देवमजमच्युतमाहुरग्र्यम् प्रातर्नमामि तमसा परमार्कवर्णम् पूर्णं सनातनपदं पुरुषोत्तमाख्यम् यस्मिन्निदं जगदशेषमशेषमूर्तौ रज्ज्वां भुजङ्गम इव प्रतिभासितौ वै उद्धरेदात्मनात्मानम् नात्मानमवसादयेत् आत्मैव ह्यात्मनो बन्धुर् आत्मैव रिपुरात्मनः शनैः शनैरुपरमे बुद्ध्या धृतिगृहीतया आत्मसंस्थौ मनः कृत्वा न किञ्चिदपि चिन्तयेत् यतो यतो निश्चरति मनश्चञ्चलमस्थिरम् ततस्ततो नियम्यैतद् आत्मन्येव वशन्नयेत् प्रज्ञन् न बहिष्प्रज्ञन् नो भयतः प्रज्ञन् न प्रज्ञान् न गणन् न प्रज्ञन् नाप्रज्ञम् अदृष्टम् अव्यवहार्यम् अग्राह्यम् अलक्षणम् अचिन्त्यम् अव्यपदेश्यम् एकात्मप्रत्ययसारम् प्रपञ्चोपशमम् शान्तम् शिवमद्वैतं चतुर्थं मन्यन्ते स आत्मा स विज्ञेयः अजम् अनिद्रामस्वप्नम् अनामकम् अरूपकम् सुकृद्विभातं सर्वज्ञम् नोपचारः कथञ्चन सर्वाभिलापविगतः सर्वचिन्तासमुत्थितः सुप्रशान्तः सुकृज्योतिः समाधिरचलो भयः प्रतिबोधविदितं मतम् अमृतत्वं हि विन्दते आत्मना विन्दते वीर्यम् विद्यया विन्दते अमृतम् तत्त्वमाध्यात्मिकं दृष्ट्वा तत्त्वं दृष्ट्वा तु बाह्यतः तद्विभूतस्तदा रामः तत्त्वादप्रच्युतो भवेत् आत्मसत्यानुबोधेन न सङ्कल्पयते यदा अमनस्तान् तदा याति ग्राह्यभावे तदग्रहम् ब्रह्मणः सर्वभूतानि जायन्ते परमात्मनः तस्मादेतानि ब्रह्मैव भवन्तीत्यवधारयेत् ब्रह्मैव सर्वनामानि रूपाणि विविधानि च कर्माण्यपि समग्राणि बिभर्तीति श्रुतिर्जगौ न निरोधो न चोत्पत्तिर्न बद्धो न च साधकः न मुमुक्षुर्न मुक्ता इत्येषा परमार्थता जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वाणिमृदा यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकम् सत्यं परं धीमहि धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकम् सत्यं परं धीमहि सत्यं परं धीमहि सत्यं परं धीमहि पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्रीरामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु
Good morning again. Sri Bhagavan, Sri Krishna, in Bhagavad Gita, after explaining and enumerating many vibhutis, his glories, God's glories, in manifesting in different forms, then he said, Yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam srimat urjitameva va tatta devav gachatam mamatejansha sambhavam. So what is the use of enumerating one by one? Wherever you find some vibhuti is expressed, some glory is manifested, know for certain it is me and me alone. So, though God is manifesting in every place, everywhere, in every being, but we find there are some special places where the manifestation is greater. So we are very happy today that Swami Sarvapriyananda ji is with us, and we find in him the glory of God is manifesting. So we are very lucky to have him with us. And as it is said, Swadeshe pujyate Raja, Vidvana Sarvatra pujyate. That means in one kingdom, that king may be worshipped, but it is the wise person that is worshipped everywhere. So we are very happy, dear brother, that you are here, and without not taking much time, so I give the floor to our dear brother, Swami Sarvapriyananda. And
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Om, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness unto light, lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. I offer my pranams to revered Swami Chandrasekharananda Ji Maharaj, the minister in charge of the Vedanta Society here in Portland. I was very glad to see the link between the Vedanta Society in New York and the Vedanta Society in Portland at the very beginning, yesterday when the history was being recounted. And in that beautiful song, you have 100 years of history in that song yesterday. It was Swami Abhedanandaji from the Vedanta Society of New York. He came here in 1904, and the first group of devotees, Vedanta practitioners, they gathered around him. Those were the seeds that were sown, and we are sitting under the great tree which has grown out of those seeds today. I am really glad, delighted, I feel blessed to be part of this momentous occasion here. So, the subject that I have chosen for this morning, have you seen the title of the subject, The Eye of the Eye? It's a play on, in the Kena Upanishad you find the term Eye of the Eye, E-Y-E-I, the eye of the eye, the ear of the ear, the mind of the mind, the speech of the speech, and so on. But the way I have put it is the vertical eye, the self, the eye of the eye. And that's the point of it all, the point of Vedanta. Who are we or what are we really? And the claim in Vedanta is, if we would but know this, who we are truly, then our problems, our issues would be solved at the deepest possible level. We would overcome suffering, we would attain to lasting peace and satisfaction. Atyantika dukkha nivritti paramananda praptischa. The deep overcoming or transcendence of suffering and attainment of bliss. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. So the spiritual quest, it can be done in two ways. We can focus our inquiry outwards into what is all this, into the reality behind this universe. Okay. What is that? Yeah, you can silence your mobile phones if you haven't already. We can focus our inquiry into what is the reality behind this universe which we are experiencing. That's one way of doing it. The other way is to turn inwards and try to find out who or what we truly are. Both of them will work. These are the two ways of being spiritual. And it's not surprising that this should be so. All our experience, whatever we experience in life, this is a subject-object experience. Think about it. All our lives, whatever is possible to experience, is I am this knowing, experiencing, enjoying, suffering being, and this is what I am experiencing. Subject and object. All our experiences. Ring, ring. So it's not surprising that in spiritual life also, that we should have the subject and the object, ourselves and the objective universe. And our spiritual quest can be directed either outwards into the objective universe or inwards into ourselves, into the subject. So these are only two realities. And the religions of the world can be divided into these two broad categories. Those which look for the spiritual reality in the object, what is out there, what is the reality of this universe which we are experiencing, the so-called God-centered religions. What are you doing in that religion? You're looking for God. If I get distracted, you get distracted. If you get distracted, I get distracted because I'm looking at you. I'm aware of where your attention is. Yeah, there's another way of giving in India. Monks give talks called pravachan. And one can do that, where you're talking and there are thousands, usually thousands of people. Some are coming and some are going, and children are turning cartwheels. The occasional sacred cow wanders in and out. And the speaker is unfazed because the speaker is just saying, is delivering his talk. He's not really concerned with what's going on in the audience. One can do that also. I'm more of a school teacher, so I tend to, like a class, so I tend to talk to a class of people. And it's really good this way, where you have a closed group where we can pay attention to what's going on. So one kind of religion is this God-centered religion. What are you doing? You are looking for God, searching for God. Christianity, Islam, Judaism, they're all God-centered religions. In India, in Hinduism, the worship of Shiva, of the Divine Mother Durga, which we just finished last week, or Vishnu, or the avatars, whether it is Rama or Krishna, or Sri Rama Krishna. These are all God-centered approaches. This is one way. The other one is, there are other religions which are different, which are not God-centered. That is something that it took a long time for people in the West to grasp, because in the West people were used to Christianity, Judaism, and later on Islam. And they're all God-centered. So it naturally became, religion means God. Can you have religion without God? So when Buddhism became more and more well-known in the West, people were confused. How can you have a religion without God? And yet here is definitely it's a religion. There were attempts to see it, classify Buddhism. Oh, it's a kind of moral code or a psychology or a method of meditation, which it is all of that, definitely. But it is definitely a religion. And yet it's not about God. So there can be entirely another kind of religion, which is, I will not call it self-centered, that sounds very bad. Self-enquiry. Who am I or what am I? Example, Buddhism, of course, is a classic example. So is Jainism. Many people in the West are not aware of this religion. It's an elder contemporary of Buddhism in India, Jainism. Again, a self-enquiry based approach. In Hinduism, you have Sankhya, you have yoga. They're all self-enquiry based religions. Sankhya is self-enquiry based religion, and yoga is meditation, but meditation into our inner reality. It's not really meditation on God. Patanjali yoga. So this is another entirely different category of the spiritual path. This subject-oriented, inward-directed. The question here is, who am I? In the first path, the God-oriented path, the question was, God. Who is God? Can I see God? Narendranath, when he goes to Sri Ramakrishna, what's the question he's asking? He's not asking, who am I? He knows who he is. He's Narendranath Datta. But he's asking, does God exist? Have you seen God? This, have you seen God? Can I see God? This is the essence, the core of the God-centered approach. And can I discover who am I? The famous sage of Arunachala, Ramana Maharshi, that was his classic, his method. When you would go to him, he would ask, who is asking this question? Find out who am I. I'm suffering. How do I go beyond suffering? Find out who is suffering. So who am I? He would always turn it around on you. And who am I? These two approaches. Notice I have not mentioned Vedanta yet. Advaita Vedanta. What does Advaita Vedanta say? Is it a God-centered approach? Is it a self-inquiry based approach? Yes to both and no to both. What does Advaita Vedanta say? Advaita Vedanta says, Tat Tvamasi, you are that. That, God-centered. You, self-inquiry. What you find when you seek God, what you find when we seek within ourselves, in our own experience, in our own lives, is one and the same thing. That's what Advaita Vedanta wants to say. If you pursue God, you will find what you truly are. If you inquire into yourself, you will find God. Sri Ramakrishna says in the words of the Master, it's a collection of Sri Ramakrishna's choicest teachings by Swami Brahmananda, the disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, whom Sri Ramakrishna considered his own spiritual son. There in that collection, chosen by Swami Brahmananda, the first point and the first sentence of the first point in the whole book of the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna is, when man knows who he is, he knows God. When you find out who you are, you will find out God. You will find God. And this is interesting, because generally what is our impression of Sri Ramakrishna? He is a devotee. He is a lover of God. He is the child of Kali. Kali is the divine mother. I am the child. So this, you would say that if you wanted to classify Sri Ramakrishna, in which category would you put him? God-centered or self-inquiry? You would say probably God-centered. Of course, he had an Advaita Guru and all of that, but generally, if you see all his teachings, but his closest disciple, even more than Vivekananda, whom he considered, Brahmananda, whom he considered his spiritual son, he deliberately set out to collect and classify Sri Ramakrishna's teachings according to him, his personal opinion. And there he said, the first thing, the pride of the place, the beginning, at the top, very, very first sentence, if you know who you are, you know God. This is the essence of the Advaita path of non-duality. If we realize who we are, we will realize God. Yes, it is true that in Advaita Vedanta, this whole path, it starts with the self-inquiry. But where you reach is where the devotee also reaches. Same place, the same reality. Which means your innermost reality and the reality of the universe is the same. What is your innermost reality? Atma. In Vedanta, it's called Atman, the self, true self. And what is the reality of the universe? Brahman. Atman is equal to Brahman. That's all of Vedanta. Advaita Vedanta is that's finished. What is Advaita Vedanta? It can be taught very elegantly, very compactly. You can take away in a single sentence. Shankaracharya wrote half a verse, he says. It can express what thousands of books are trying to express. Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya Jiva Brahmaiva Napara. Brahman is real, the world is an appearance. Appearance of what? Appearance of Brahman. Jiva Brahmaiva Napara. You are none other than Brahman. That gives you a clue where you have to do sadhana. If I am none other than Brahman, I must find out who I am then. My inquiry must be towards myself. You are none other than Brahman. Brahman is the reality, the world is the appearance of that Brahman, and you are none other than Brahman. Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya Jiva Brahmaiva Napara. It can be compressed even further. You can shorten it into one short sentence. Tat Tvamasi, you are that. In the Chandogya Upanishad. All of Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta, all of Advaita Vedanta is that. Or Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. From the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Same meaning. Exactly same meaning. Or Prajnanam Brahma. Consciousness is Brahman. From the Aitaitriya Upanishad. Rig Veda. Same meaning. Exactly same meaning. Or I am Atma Brahma. This very self is Brahman. From the Mandukya Upanishad. Atharva Veda. These are sample sentences taken from each of the Vedas, from one Upanishad each. But this is across the Upanishads you will find this teaching. That the microcosm and the macrocosm are one and the same. The universal and the individual are one and the same. We just chanted, Purnamadah Purnamidam. That is infinite. This is also infinite. So, you can compress it even further. Make it even shorter. One word. And we all know what that word is. Om. You start chanting with Om. And if you expand Om, what do you get? You get the Mandukya Upanishad, waking, dreaming, sleeping, and the witness consciousness, the Turiya. If you expand it further, what do you get? You get all the Upanishads. And all the supporting literature. Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutras, Shankaracharya's works, and so on and so forth. You can make it even shorter. Shorter than Om. Just one gesture. Just one gesture. It's called the Chin Mudra. Here. You don't even have to say anything. All Vedanta is here. What does this mean? It's a very simple meaning. When you do this, so this is the ego, I. Today we are discussing I of the I. What is the real nature of the I? The apparent nature of the I is this. What is this? This is the physical body. This is the inner, the subtle body. And this is what is called the causal body. So Shariratraya, 3 bodies. This is a new science fiction book, Chinese book, 3 body problem. That is Advaita Vedanta, 3 body problem. Physical body, always related to your own experience. Don't make it theoretical. As a theory, as a philosophy, it's fascinating, but still it's a philosophy. But Advaita Vedanta, the beauty, the extraordinary beauty and elegance of Advaita Vedanta is, it's directly pointing at our already available experience. So when you say physical body, don't just say, oh, physical body, in Sanskrit it is sthula, sharira, all fancy words. This, what it means is this. This one. What can be more practical than this? Pointing to what's already there, the physical body. What does this mean? I identify with this physical body. Subtle body. Subtle body even more important. Subtle means which is not directly experienced by the senses. When we look inside, we have thoughts, feelings, ideas, memories. This guy who I am, this whole personality. That's the mind. So that's the subtle body. I mean, I'm saying in general, there are technicalities involved. And there's something called the causal body, but let's not bother about it. It's there. So these are the 3 bodies which we are identified with. When I say, I am this guy, what is this? This is I. Who are you? This. This is what is meant by this. The ego is identified with these 3. What does Vedanta do? Vedanta does this. It tells you are not the physical body, you are not the subtle body, you are not the causal body. You are pure consciousness. You are being consciousness bliss. This being consciousness bliss you are. This is the meaning. These are called mudras. When you see Swamiji doing puja, the worship, you will see he will do all these strange hand symbols. And they are multiple meanings are there, and they are also designed to generate certain inner psychological states. So like this, then you'll have like this. They're all complicated. Like this. And one of the simplest is this. This is called the consciousness mudra. The mudra which mudra means hand symbol, which expresses the Vedantic truth. I am Brahman. I am Brahman. You are this. You are this, not this, not these 3. Usually we are like this. Vedanta says no, this. That's all of Vedanta. You just have to show this. Teaching was over. In the Dakshinamurti Stotra, the Lord in the form of Dakshinamurti, he teaches by this hand gesture. He teaches by this hand gesture. Yo mudraya bhadraya. By expressing with this hand gesture, he shows, the teacher shows the students that I am, that you are this, you are Brahman. You can make it even shorter. Silence. French will say silence. Silence. But of course, it's a pregnant silence. It's not just, I don't know, what are you talking about? Not that kind of silence. So, Vedanta is that elegant. It can be compressed to that level. Vedanta starts with questions. Vedanta is not a preaching religion. It will not come to you and, preach to you and try to convert you and try to rope you into a religion, a cult. No. Vedanta waits for your question. We must be sufficiently spiritually mature enough to have these profound questions about life. Then Vedanta steps forward to give these answers. Swami Vivekananda said that these questions were asked in the most ancient times, which is the Upanishads. And each generation must ask them for themselves. Every time we must ask again. It must be asked in our own language, related to our own concerns, our own issues today, in terms of our modern knowledge. Some people will ask, why are you bothered about science, about modern psychology? Vedanta is complete in itself. Vedanta works. It will give you enlightenment. It has given enlightenment to thousands of people across thousands of years. So why are you worried about science or psychology or something? Well, because Vivekananda said each generation must ask. We are children of this time. We are not children of Shankara's time. We are not children of the time of the Christ or the Buddha. We are not children of the time of the Upanishads, or the beginnings of the Upanishads in the ancient day. Somebody scolded me, why do you talk about the origins of Upanishads? Because the traditional idea is that Upanishads are part of Vedas. Vedas are eternal. Yes. So we are children of our time. And we must ask in the language which we have in our time. Bhushapadun, find somewhere to sit. No? There's nowhere to sit? And it's not that, Vivekananda says, it's not that the answers were not found. The answers were found. In the most ancient times, in the Upanishads, we'll see the answers were found. And across the centuries, when these questions have been asked again and again, the answers have been found. But what happens is, then why ask again? What happens is that the answers gather strength as you roll down the centuries. You have the same answer, the same insight, the same saving knowledge, but in a broader, more profound sense. Like the Ganga originates in the Gangotri. It's a very narrow stream, fast, narrow stream, but extremely pure, narrow, crystal clear. And when it comes down to Calcutta, before it merges into the Bay of Bengal, it's vast. It's a rolling river, vast, and it's full of debris and, leaves and branches and clay and pollutants and what not is floating there. It's vast, but it's the same Ganga. So it rolls down the centuries, and therefore in our day and age, it is a worthwhile effort to relate it to relate this ancient wisdom to our modern psychology, our modern consciousness studies, our modern AI and our modern quantum theory and string theory, whatnot. You can try. And you'll definitely get insights. Definitely, it will make both richer. It will give insights, always has. It has always given a boost and insight to knowledge. This spiritual, this non-dual insight coming from the Upanishads down till today, whenever we have called upon it, it enriches our worldview. So today also the same thing will happen. And when we bring in our modern knowledge, our quantum theory, our AI and consciousness theory and brain science, that also enriches. It will not cut down. You need not be afraid that Advaita will be disproved. I remember once when I was beginning to study Advaita as a novice, 30 years ago, in front of the gates of our main monastery, after a class on Vedanta, I asked our teacher, Maharaj knows him, Swami Sarvapriyananda ji, after class in Sharadapit, I asked him, Maharaj, very hesitantly, I have a question. And he said, ask, whatever comes to your mind. Brains far superior to yours have asked these questions, every possible doubt and question for centuries, and satisfactory answers have been provided. So don't feel that if you have a doubt, the Advaita will come crashing down. You ask whatever you like, whatever you like. If today our Americans would say, knock yourself out. Yeah. So questions, it starts with these questions. The Upanishad, I haven't started yet. So all this was a build-up to the question. The Upanishad, the Kena Upanishad, all of these Upanishads, they teach you the same thing. But they teach you in remarkably different ways. So that's why it's so beautiful to study each Upanishad. And if you can see that it's teaching me the same thing, what I find in the Mandukya, I find in the Katha Upanishad, I find in the Mundaka Upanishad, I find in the Isha, in the Kena, and so on, our understanding begins to broaden and deepen also. The Kena Upanishad, the word Kena just means by what or by whom. And it starts with that question, by whom or by what. Keneshitam patati preshitam mana, kena prana prathama praiti yuktaha, keneshitam vachamimam vadanti, chakshu shrotram kaudeva yunakti. It's nice to hear the original Sanskrit. What is the question? Impelled by whom, inspired, instigated by whom or what do these thoughts come in my mind? What engages, what enables me to have the experience of seeing, of hearing, of speaking these words, indeed of breathing in and breathing out, every breath that we take in and out. What is giving me these experiences? So you can immediately see it's an inward directed question. Where is the question directed? To myself. I'm seeing, I'm hearing, I'm smelling, tasting, touching, thinking, speaking. All the experiences of what I call life. And the student asks, is a very advanced student because the question is very sophisticated. What bright being, kaudeva yunakti, which bright being impels, enables these experiences? We know he's going to talk about consciousness, but this is the way the question is framed. Evan Thompson is a University of British Columbia here. He says in his book, Waking, Dreaming, Being, that consciousness studies is not new, not today. It started 5,000 years ago on the plains of India, on the Gangetic plains of India, in the texts called the Upanishads. So this is a question we are still asking. This is a question which David Chalmers is asking when he comes up with his hard problem of consciousness. How are we having these experiences? Now notice some things about this question. We dwell with the question, let the question vibrate within us until it becomes our question. That's the way to get maximum benefit from these spiritual teachings. It's my question. And I will really want to know the answer. We had one Swami, very greatly revered, long ago, long before my time, Swami Bhaskareshwaranandaji. He was in our Ramakrishna Math in Nagpur. Some of the senior most Swamis, some Swamis are still alive who have seen him, I think. And his classes, Vedanta classes, were legendary. So when he would start his classes, I have seen the notes which were taken down. I remember one thing. He's starting a Gita class. And he says, Prayojanam, what is the need? Why am I here? And he says, keep this vibrating within you when you listen to the words of the Master in the Gita Acharya, Sri Krishna. When he speaks to you, keep it vibrating within you. That, why am I here? What do I get out of this? Then you will get benefit from it. Similarly, we'll keep the question vibrating within us. How are we having all these experiences? Now notice some interesting things about this question. One, it is not really a question about eyes, ears, the nose or the tongue or the mind. No. He's saying one being, one reality is there which is giving me all the experiences of my life. That I think, I speak, I see, I hear, I enjoy, I suffer, I wake, I dream, I sleep. I live. All these tremendously varied experiences, the questionnaire, the student says, all of them are due to one thing. And I want to know that one thing. Now this is important. Why? Because if you ask a question, how am I seeing? The answer would be, go to the ophthalmology department. They'll tell you. They are experts. They've got MDs, MD degrees and they have studied medicine for all their life, and they're going to teach you how they'll show you how the eyes function, how the lens functions, how the optic nerves function, how the brain functions, which gives you an experience of seeing. Ask them. But he's saying, what is that thing which gives me an experience of seeing? The same thing gives me an experience of hearing. Now you can't say go to the eye, nose, throat, ENT doctor. He'll tell you about hearing. Ear, nose, throat doctor, ENT. No. It's not a question about physiology. It's not a question about psychology. Because when he asks, how do I think these thoughts? You might think it's about psychology, about the mind. No. Because he's saying there is one thing. Therefore, it cannot be a question, a physiological question. It cannot be a psychological question. How do I utter these words? It's not a linguistic question about language also. It's a question about consciousness. Is this understood, the unique nature of this question? Otherwise, you could say, okay, you have got these questions. I will send you to various departments in the hospital. They will tell you how you see, how you speak, how you think. And go to a psychiatrist, he'll tell you how you think. Go to the ophthalmology department, they'll show you how you see. No, it's not those questions. It's a question about our first person experience of living. all the facets of what we consider life. What is life? Well, I see you, that's part of life. I hear, I taste, I smell, I touch, I enjoy, I suffer, I feel pain, I think, I remember, I desire, I plan, I hope, I fear, I'm anxious, I'm awake, and I sleep and dream, and awake again. This is life. And he's asking the most profound question: what makes all this possible? And he's pointing it in a particular direction, consciousness. So this is how he has set the question. Question is so sophisticated. Question itself is so sophisticated. So in the Upanishads you come across these grand questions. In the Kathopanishad, a favorite of many people because of the young character, young boy, Nachiketa, he asks the Lord of Death, the mystery of death. What is there beyond death? And you are the Lord of Death. Some say that there is something beyond death. Some say there is nothing after death. I would like to know the answer to this mystery. You are the Lord of Death. Who better to tell me than you? So that is the question in the Kathopanishad. What is the question in the Mundakopanishad? Shaunako havai mahashalo angirasam vidivadupasannapa pracha kasminnu bhagavo vigyate sarvamidam vigyatam bhavati iti. Shaunaka, a capable, accomplished, rich man, he goes to a master, Angiras, respectfully approaches the master and asks this question: Sir, respected sir, what is that one thing by knowing which we can know everything here? That's the question there. Yeah? Grand unified theory. And physicists are now trying to come up with a grand unified theory. So thousands of years ago, he wants a grand unified theory. What's that one thing, that one equation, by knowing which everything here is known? Now we know the answer. We have all been in Vedanta for a long time. What's the answer? This. You know he's going to talk about Atman, Brahman, but appreciate the questions. And in this Kena Upanishad, the question is, how do I see? How do I hear? How do I think? How do I speak? How do I breathe in and out? The experiences of life. Then comes the answer. Now, here we are at the Everest peak of spirituality. You might ask, what about God and worship? What about meditation? What about Kundalini? And what about mindfulness? All those are the lower approaches to this mountain peak. At the end of this journey, you will find this, what we are talking about. And it may or may not appeal. We are very blessed that we like it and we are here today. But I can tell you this without any doubt. One day or the other, when we walk down this path, we will come to this. If we do not come to it now, we'll have to come to it at one point. Even if it does not appeal, I mean, to us it appeals. That's why we are here. We're going to spend a whole day together with talking about this ancient philosophy. Even if it doesn't appeal, our monks have this saying, old Bengali saying, "Karno shuddha karo." Purify your ears. Let it just go through into your ears. Listen. Just sit and listen. When we were new monastic novices as monks, at that time also, we found it difficult to grasp what was being said. And we were always told, sit and listen. The senior monks would be deeply engaged in Vedantic discussions. The master would be teaching. And I would be just a newcomer and would sit. I liked it. Not that I understood much. I understand maybe a little bit now. But at that time, I didn't understand. But I liked what was going on. So I would just sit and listen. And that's good. Just to sit and listen. This is the ultimate truth. There's nothing beyond this. And after this also, one can always work backwards and complete the whole process. But anyway, today we are concerned with big things, ultimate things, final things. The answer. I've been beating around the bush till now. What is the answer? We are eager to know the answer now. Yeah. What is it that gives me this experience of life itself? And how does that help me? How does that help me? The answer. Remarkable answer. The answer to this question, the method of enlightenment or realization, and the results of that. We'll see three things. The answer to the question. Then the realization itself, enlightenment itself. What happens when you know that? And the result of it. Benefit of it. All three in one sentence, a long sentence, but one sentence. The master replies, Shrotrasya shrotram manaso mano yad vachoha vacham sau chakshusas chakshu atimut Shrotrasya shrotram manaso mano yad vachoha vacham sau pranasya pranaha chakshushas chakshur atimuchya dhira pretyasmad lokadamrita bhavanti. Answer to your question. You want to know how you hear? Yes. It is because of the ear of the ear. What? You want to know how you see? Yes. It's because of the eye of the eye. You want to know how you speak? Now the student has cottoned on to it. The intelligent student, he says, don't tell me. It's the speech of the speech. You're right. And you want to know how the mind thinks? Don't tell me. It's the mind of the mind. Yes, it's the mind of the mind. It is the breath of the breath, the ear of the ear, the speech of the speech, mind of the mind, the eye of the eye, the breath of the breath. That's what you're asking about. And by knowing this, one realizing this, one transcends this body-mind personality, right here and now. And then, what happens? This is enlightenment. The qualified one transcends body-mind here and now. Related to what we have been talking about, transcends body-mind, that's just a verbal way of putting this. What happens when you realize this? You go from here to this. Transcends body-mind. And what's the benefit? So one transcends the body-mind, one goes beyond lokaha, whether this physical body-mind being liberated in this life or we'll see what is the result later on. But now let us focus on the answer itself. What is the answer to the question? It says, how do you hear? Ear of the ear, mind of the mind, speech of the speech, eye of the eye. Notice three things about this answer. One, when he says, what you're asking about, it's the ear of the ear. It's the eye of the eye, and so on. First thing it means is, the answer is not in the ears or in the eyes, not in the mind, not in the speech. If I ask, for example, let's put it this way. If I ask you, how do I hear? And you say that, all right, investigate and try to understand how the ear functions. So the answer is, how do I hear? You say, by the ear. How do I see? With your eyes. But here the answer is not the ear or the eyes. It says the ear of the ear, eye of the eye. So the first thing we say is, this, let's call it consciousness, which gives you the experience of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting. It is distinct from the ears. It is distinct from the eyes. It is distinct from the sense organs. It is distinct from the mind. It's distinct from body-mind, because it's the mind of the mind. What gives me the experience of thinking? Not the mind. It's the mind of the mind. What gives me the experience of seeing? Not the ears. It is the of seeing. Not the eyes. It is the eye of the eye. And so on. So this is the first point I'm trying to get across, is that the question you asked, the answer is, it does not lie in physiology, in psychology, in linguistics. It is something distinct from the body-mind. This is the meaning of what? Ear of the ear, eye of the eye. Otherwise, he would not have used this phraseology. He would have just said ears, eyes, find out how the ears function, find out how the eyes function, that will give you the answer. No. It's something apart from that. And this is number one. Number two, it is something in there itself. He did not use some other word. He did not say consciousness, Atman, Brahman. He said ear of the ear, eye of the eye, mind of the mind. It's something intrinsic right there in the ears, eyes, mind, body. It's right there in the body, mind, prana. It is something which is apart from that and yet right there. In philosophical language, transcendent and immanent. Transcendent and immanent. And the third thing which we take away from this answer is what you're asking for. You talked about ears and eyes and speech and breath and mind. But the answer is one. Your question also was singular. What is that one thing? And the answer is one. So there is one thing which gives us all these diverse experiences. All our experiences in life. Whatever we call experience in life. Secular experience, spiritual experience. Tomorrow if God comes and stands before you also, it will be that, how do I see this, how do I have the experience of this divinity? Same thing. There is one thing. So there are 3 takeaways from this answer, from this very peculiar phrasing. It's a rather peculiar phrasing. The answer is paradoxical. By the way, this Upanishad is a very dramatic Upanishad. It never fails to shock you, delight you, surprise you at every turn. The question itself was wonderful. And the answer is also extraordinary. At every turn you will find, oh, it's not what you expected. So 3 things we have taken away from this. 1, consciousness which you are looking for is apart from body-mind. It's not the ears, not the eyes, not the mind, not so on and so forth, not the speech. It is in the body-mind. And it is one reality. There are not multiple answers to this question. So these are the 3 things which we have already taken away. You might ask, so why not straight away say, oh, what you're asking about is consciousness, Atman, Brahman, that's what you're asking about. Why use this peculiar language? This language is a very skillful way of teaching. There's a great, deep pedagogy involved here. If the master had said, I know what you're asking about. It's Atman, it's Brahman, it is it's the Buddha nature, it is pure consciousness, it is existence, consciousness, bliss. Any number of words. What would the student start doing? Start looking for that. But the teacher is affirming, your search is correct. You are looking in the right place. Where is the student looking? In the experience of seeing, in the experience of hearing, in the experience of touch and smell and taste, in the experience of thinking, in the experience of life itself. You see, what happens in spiritual life, often we divorce spirituality from our day-to-day life. We divorce God from the world. It goes deep into us. I am a God seeker now. Where will you seek God? Well, certainly not here, somewhere else. This I know already. Here, there's no God here. This is just a place. This is just a world. In ourselves, no, I know myself. I will not search within myself. I know this is just a body. If I were interested in this, I would go to biology class. This is just a mind. If you're interested in this, I would read books on psychology. But I'm interested in God, so I'm searching elsewhere. So we divorce the world from God. We divorce this body-mind from God. We search elsewhere. But there is no elsewhere for us to search. The only thing that we are aware of is what? This world and ourselves. That's all. Subject and object, that's what we are aware of. If you set aside the subject and object and start searching for God somewhere, then what will you have to do? You will have to take it on faith, not experience. You'll have to believe there is somewhere else called a heaven, a Vaikuntha, a Buddha land, somewhere else. And there God is. And how do you know? By experience? No. What do I experience? This world. Am I experiencing that Buddha land or Vaikuntha or heaven? No. How do I take it then? How do I access it? By faith only. There's no other way. And that's how the common religion starts. The dualistic religion. The religion of the masses. What you call, in America, what you call faith. You see, the name for religion in America is faith. What does faith mean? Believing in something. It's never really a word used for Vedanta. Vedanta is not believing in something. It's already there. Right? This life. Investigate. Dig deep here. It's like being presented with a set of golden jewelry and you are asked to search. Oh, the reality is not the necklace. The reality is not the bracelet. The reality is not the ring. The reality is gold. Where do I look for gold? If I am told there is something called gold which is the ultimate reality, then I want the ultimate reality. I don't want these jewels. These are worthless. I throw all the jewels away and start searching for gold. You're looking in the wrong place. But if the teaching had been, what is gold? It is the bracelet of the bracelet. It is the necklace of the necklace. It is the ring of the ring. Then what will you do? You'll start looking in the bracelet and in the ring and in the necklace. And since it's a singular number, then in all these three you look for one common thing. Maybe you'll find gold. Or what find gold means understand what gold really is. You see the logic which is being applied here. It's deep pedagogy. The way it is being used, the language is being used to turn us inwards and yet transcend. Not remain limited to physiology, psychology. Not there. Deeper, spiritual. It's like, I like the electricity example. These are gadgets. The light is shining and illuminating the room. The microphone is amplifying sound. The telephone enables you to talk. Although these telephones do everything and they're not very good at enabling you to talk actually. Fewer and fewer people are using it to talk. They're doing everything else with it. Anyway, telephone enables you to talk. But when it was in the shop, the light did not illumine, the microphone did not amplify sound, the telephone did not enable you to talk. Then one is justified in asking what got into these gadgets, which makes the light shine, and the microphone amplify sound, and the telephone, we can talk on the telephone to distant people. What got into it? And we all know the answer. It's electricity, Swami. So can we call electricity the light of the light, the telephone of the telephone, the microphone of the... Yes, it is something distinct from the light, distinct from the telephone, the phone, distinct from the microphone, apart from it. But where is it? It's right there. It's right here. It's right here in each of these gadgets. And it is one thing. The telephone is different from the microphone, is different from the light. They're all different gadgets. But the one thing common to all of them, which is distinct from all of them, and yet in and through all of them, which enables them to do what they are designed to do, is electricity. Similarly, translate it into what we were talking about. The eyes and the ears and the mind and the speech and the prana, they're all very different from each other. They all do very different things. But to enable them to do what they are doing, there is one reality, consciousness, which is distinct from all of them, yet pervading all of them and making them do what they were designed to do. That consciousness, that's the answer you are looking for, O disciple. And then what happens when you realize that? When we investigate into it and when we realize that consciousness, we will see, if you truly do that, you will not say my consciousness anymore. You will say I, the consciousness. What will happen is this here. Don't go into a meditative state. You're missing out. See what I'm showing. What happens is this. Yeah. You asked a question about body, about mind. Yeah. And when you investigate, you will find there is one thing in this body-mind which is consciousness. Yeah. Then you will realize I am consciousness. This we will realize. Atimuchya dhiraha. Pretya. He says, when you realize I am consciousness, the result will be you will transcend body-mind. That in essence is what Vedanta does. All the Vedantic language will merge with Brahman, nothing like that really. It's like saying, when the wave realizes that it is water, it will merge with water. What do you mean merge with water? Well, the wave is water, through and through. It's exactly what is meant by merging with water. You just realize you are water through and through. You are pure consciousness through and through. That's what you realize. And when you realize that, you transcend body-mind. Transcend means what? The transcend, the word is also interesting. Atimuchya, transcending. It means what? You're right here. Transcending the body-mind doesn't mean that you're leaving the out-of-body experience. One can have out-of-body experiences. The Alan Watts, who was right here in the Bay Area on the West Coast in the 1950s, 60s. A newspaper article I read described him as part philosopher, part pirate. He taught an eclectic mixture of Vedanta and Buddhism, but he has some smart sayings, So one of them is, you have to go beyond the mind to come back to your senses. So transcending body-mind does not mean you'll leave your body, come out like a puff of smoke from the body, have an out-of-body experience, go out of your mind. No. The body will be there. The mind will be there. Everything will function exactly as before. Exactly as before. No different. Except that you will no longer think that I am the body-mind. You will clearly see I am the consciousness which shines in and through the body-mind, enabling the body-mind to do what they are doing. It's the distinction between thinking I am a bulb, or I am a microphone, or I am a phone, and thinking I am this electricity, which in the bulb shines as light, in the microphone amplifies sound, in the phone talks across vast distances. But I am the one electricity. I am not limited by the bulb or the microphone. If you switch off the bulb or destroy the bulb, I'm still there in the microphone. If you switch off the microphone, I'm still there in the phone. If you switch off the phone, I'm still there, just not manifest anywhere. Exactly like that, you will transcend body-mind, means I am that in my presence, the eyes see and the ears hear and the mind it thinks, the prana functions. Here is a living body, it appears as a person. And when the body dies, I continue. When the mind shuts down, I continue. I am not in the least affected. It is in the functioning, just as in the functioning of these gadgets, there is power. We have power. If the gadgets stop functioning, we know we have lost power. Similarly, it's only in the presence of the activities of the body-mind, my existence as consciousness is revealed. When you see the enlightened one, we will say, I am seeing, that's all. The enlightened one will say, yeah, I am seeing, but the real takeaway is that I am awareness. Yeah, I am hearing, the real takeaway is I am awareness, I am consciousness. Yes, I am thinking, but the real takeaway is I am consciousness. Yes, I am in pain, but the real takeaway is I am consciousness. That's what is revealed to the enlightened one in every experience. Then what will happen when you have this kind of a realization? It's a real realization. It's not something that we understand intellectually. It's actually a fact. One realizes that. Then what will happen? Pretya smad lokad amrita bhavanti. Transcending this world, one becomes immortal. Now there are two meanings of this, giving the two results of Vedanta. What is the result we are looking for in Vedanta? The two results. The terms are Jivan Mukti, Videha Mukti. Jivan Mukti, free while living. You transcend this body-mind and attain to freedom while living. This is the goal of Vedanta. Here, in this life itself, you attain to freedom. In the Bhagavad Gita, different terms are used. Sthita Pragya, the one of stabilized wisdom, the sage of stabilized wisdom. Gunatita, the one who has transcended the gunas. So various terms are used. Jivan Mukta is one of the terms. You're free while living. You transcend this body-mind. While you are living in this body-mind, you're free. That's the goal. That's what we are aiming for in Vedanta. Or, other meaning is, transcends this world means transcends this body. At the death of the body, one attains to bodiless freedom. That is, one remains as infinite existence, consciousness, bliss. Both are meant by this last phrase. Pretya smad lokad amrita bhavanti. Attain to immortality, transcending this world. Transcending this body-mind, while the body-mind is living, remain as Jivan Mukta, free while living. Transcending, that is at the death of the body, you remain as Nirguna Brahman, existence, consciousness, bliss. So this is the answer given by the teacher. Now, the student, I'll go along up to 11, and then we can take Q&A. Yeah. We have time up to 12, right? Up to 12. So now what happens next? Well, the student is sold. Student says, oh, wonderful. This, I couldn't have thought of anything better, anything greater. Let me realize this. Let me become enlightened. I too want to become a Jivan Mukta, free while living. This is the highest goal I can think about. Please teach me, make me enlightened. And the Upanishad is stunning. It's full of these twists and turns. The teacher says, I can't. Well, teach me. I cannot. Why not? Because I don't know it myself. Yeah. There's always a deeper meaning to this. He's still teaching. By saying, I don't know it and I cannot teach you, he's still teaching. He's clarifying the student's conception of what Atman is, what pure consciousness is. I do not know it myself. Why don't you know it yourself? Because how does one know it? Either one sees it, hears it, smells it, tastes it, touches it. All those things are not possible. Or one can see, understands with the mind, theoretically, some kind of intellectual conception. That is also not possible. Or one understands through speech. That is also not possible. It's beyond speech, beyond mind, beyond senses. Therefore, I don't know it. Second opinion, somebody else can help. Nobody knows it. Na tatra vag gacchati, na tatra chakshur gacchati, na vag gacchati no manaha, na vidmo na vijanimo yataitad anushishyad. The eyes do not go there. And by eyes is meant the whole group of sense organ. Eyes, ears, nose, the skin, tongue. The 5 senses do not objectify it. Well, at least I can theoretically understand it, mentally, intellectually understand it. Na manaha, not the mind. Language, can language grasp it? Not language. All these Upanishads, all these teachings, language, they're all language. Language cannot grasp it. And language, you can extend it further. It could be modern mathematical language. A lot of subtle truths in mathematics and physics are basically mathematical. But it's also language. Some of you were there yesterday at the church. I mentioned my debate with the AI guy. So one part of the debate was this. I said to him, so he backing up a little bit, he described AI as this large language models which we have right now, the kind of AI which we have. It's not the only possible AI, but the one which we have now, which is all sensational now, the large language models. And he says, here's the core of his argument, if I were to present it, oversimplify the way I understood the argument, is that, look, what do we as human beings and as animals, conscious beings, what do we do? We make models of the world. In our consciousness, what are we doing? We are making representations or models of the world, gathering data through the senses and whatever lip processing capacity we have, we are making models of the world. These are things, these are objects. This is a sharp object, I better be careful. That's an edible object, I can eat it. That's poisonous, I should not eat it. So, models which give us information and tell us how to behave. We make models of the world. We make models of our own bodies because I need to move around in this world. So I know, so even this body I'm not experiencing directly. I'm experiencing it in the mind. So I need to model this body also. Model means represent it in my mind. So we model ourselves, we model the world, and we model ourselves, model others. This is our worldview. Right now, that's what we are doing right now. And then we act in this world, which we have modeled. And he says that's what any other conscious being does. I said, okay, that's one way of looking at consciousness. He said, that's what AI does. I said, how? We have senses, we have the mind, we have the intellect. That's how we are modeling. The AI is just an algorithm. And he said, but no. He said the AI is a large language model. It has access to all our language. All our modeling is expressed in our languages. And the AI is trained on those languages. So it has access to all our models. The AI uses that. What is the AI doing? Trying to predict the next word in a sentence. It's quite fascinating if you dive deep into it. An expert in AI was explaining it's all geometry, Swami. They put a word here and all possible next word, what would come around it, and the less possible ones further away, and more, and then you model it through geometry. It's quite fascinating the way it actually functions. But basically, he says it's modeling. It's modeling the next word which comes. But the language itself is modeling the whole universe because we have made that language. So it can model. And that's when I said, no, it can't understand itself or it can't understand, Atman, Brahman consciousness. Why? Because I thought I had got him. Aha, it's beyond language. Like the master said, it's beyond language. And his answer was, true, it's beyond language, but that doesn't prevent you from talking about it endlessly. So all Vedanta, and not only Vedanta, all kinds of non-dual philosophies and spiritual philosophies have all been represented in language, and the entirety is available to AI. The way you grasp it and you teach it, and the student grasps it, the entire thing is modeled in language and it's available to AI. Why do you think it cannot model it? So the teacher says, I cannot teach you because it's beyond language. Therefore, na vidmaha, we do not know. Na vijanimo yatheta anushishyat, we do not know how to teach it to you. Why? Because we do not know it ourselves. What do you mean you don't know it? Because it's not an object of the senses. That's how we know. It's not an object of language. That's how we know. It's not an object of the mind. That's how we know. Other than this, there is no other way of knowing. Now you can say the student is disappointed, as you must be also. Many of your smiles have been wiped off. You should have told us this in the online notification, that you will not be taught or enlightened. It can't be done. Then we wouldn't have come. It's a perfectly nice Sunday to waste on not being enlightened. And then you can imagine the disappointment of the student. The Upanishad is so remarkable. And then it goes on, the teacher goes on. You can imagine teacher saying, wait a minute. There is a way of being enlightened. And our ancient masters tried it on us and we became enlightened. So I am going to try it on you. Let's see if it works. Not my own invention. It is coming down to us from ancient masters. Imagine the Kena Upanishad is itself so ancient. It's talking about a more ancient lore through which these insights have been transmitted. So what is that teaching which has come down from ancient masters? Anya deva tadvidita datho avidita dadhi iti shushruma purvesham yenastadvya chakshire. Thus we have heard it from the ancient masters who have taught it to us. What is that most valuable, precious teaching which will enlighten us? By now we will all be wary. We have been once bitten, twice shy. So the Upanishad, it promises and then it says something very paradoxical. What is the teaching? It is other than the known, what you're looking for. Atman, Brahman, pure consciousness. It's other than the known, other than the unknown. See, it's other than the known, we will readily agree. Yes, it's other than, I don't know it. So I have come to you to learn it. So this Atman, Brahman, pure consciousness, my real nature, of course I don't know it. I am not enlightened. So I have come to you for learning. It's other than known. Then he says, it's other than the unknown also. For us, it's a binary. There's something here in the universe which we know, and there's lots that we don't know. The moment you say X is unknown to you, okay, X is not known to you. So it's not in this known, narrow band of my knowledge. It must be part of the vast unknown. But when you are being told, it's not part of the unknown also. It's not part of the known also. What is that one thing which is other than the known and other than the unknown, which cannot be classified as known or even knowable, and cannot be classified as unknown or unknowable? What is the one thing? We all know it. The subject, yes. The subject, as he said. The knower. See, there is the whole range. Remember, we started with subject and object. The known and the unknown always pertain to the object. Are there known objects or unknown objects? There are few known objects. This much is known. The vast world and universe outside is unknown. And not just this much known here. There's so much here that is unknown to me. Of all that I see, I only see some of it. I don't even see it from all angles. And I don't know it at a molecular level or atomic level. I have a very thin film of knowledge and a vast depth of ignorance here. So known and unknown. But this all pertains to the object. To whom is it known? To me, the subject. To whom is it unknown? To me, the subject. I know and I do not know. And I know that I know and I know that I do not know. To whom is the universe known? To you. To whom is it unknown? To you. Are you known or unknown? If you say, yeah, I am known, very clear. I am here, I know. But then be careful. You know how? Are you seeing yourself? Yeah. But this is the body. See this one? Yeah, I know. I can experience myself internally. Mind, subtle body. Wipe out body, mind, just blank. Nothing. Causal body. Yeah. These three, the three body problem. Apart from the three body problem, the consciousness which you are, the bare spiritual being, the naked awareness which we are, is it a known thing? No, it can't be. Is it unknown? No. It is more than unknown, because it is known first as I, me, myself, and then things are known or unknown. Swami Vivekananda said, was teaching this very topic in his Jnana Yoga lectures in London, I think. He says, but you must not walk away from here thinking it is unknown and unknowable. It is more than known. It's certainly more than unknown, it's more than known also. It is known first and then everything else is known. Known only in a special way, quote unquote. So, all the teacher was doing here was sharpening the students' understanding of what pure consciousness is. Even denying that it can be known, making it clear. Don't look for it with eyes or telescopes or microscopes. Or extend it further. CERN, the world's largest machine, underground particle accelerator. Can I accelerate particles and hit pure consciousness and reveal it? Like you cannot. It's not an object. So it's utterly unknown. No, not that either. Because it's to you. It's like the eyes. Let's make it very simple. It's like the eyes. This is an example which Vivekananda gave here on the West Coast in California to a young boy. He says, you know what God is like? He's like the eyes. Because of the eyes you can see everything. But can you see the eyes? The boy said no. So you might say, hadn't the kid heard of a mirror? In a mirror you can see a reflection of your eyes. In a selfie you can see a picture of your own eyes. But you can't see the eyes directly the way the eyes are directly seeing this world. That way the eyes cannot turn around and see themselves. The eyes cannot objectify themselves, no matter how much cross-eyed you become. You can't see the eyes. So are the eyes completely unseen? No, in a special sense they are always seen. Whenever I see something, in one sense, quote unquote, I am seeing, knowing my eyes. When I see you, I not only see you, I am aware that my eyes are open and functioning. But when I see the chair, I am not seeing you, I am seeing something very different, but I know the same eyes are seeing the chair. In fact, when I see something, that thing is revealed. When I see the post is revealed. When I see the glass of water is revealed. The glass of water and the post are different. But in each case, one thing is revealed. My own eyes. The eyes are seeing. The eyes are seeing. See something, say something. And see, what do you say? I see a post. But the enlightened one will say, I see a post and I am aware that my eyes are functioning. My eyes are there. I see a glass of water and I am aware that my eyes are functioning perfectly well. My eyes are there. Every act of seeing reveals not only the object of seeing, but reveals the eyes too. Every conscious experience reveals not only the object of consciousness, but consciousness itself. The existence of consciousness itself is revealed in every conscious experience. And that consciousness you are not the body. That's also an object of experience. You can see the body. You can touch the body. You can hear the body. You can smell. You can taste the body. The body is an object of all five senses. You can speak about the body. You can think about the body. It's an object to language. It's an object to the mind. So the body is an object. It's not you. And even more dramatically, the mind is an object. It's not us. We are aware of our thoughts. We are aware of our memories. We are aware of our intentions, our desires, our likes and dislikes, our story, our grudges, our complaints. All of this we are aware of. That's what we call our story. So if you are aware of it, it's an object. The philosopher Arindam Chakravarti, who, by the way, right now is in New York, he's going to give a talk tomorrow. And the talk is also very interesting. It's about avidya, ajnana, ignorance. Not about knowledge, about ignorance. The talk is about ignorance. Ignorance of what? About ourselves. It's very crucial to Advaita Vedanta. The whole point is we do not know ourselves. That's the claim. We do not know ourselves, and not only do not know, it's also unknowable in one sense, and not as an object. It cannot be known. So what is this ignorance? He's going to talk about that. It's the most mysterious and most difficult topic. The question is, what is Maya? Most difficult topic. Yesterday I was discussing with Swamiji that Asheshanandaji, I think here, probably Asheshanandaji, I'm not very sure exactly, I read it somewhere. This question, what is Maya? Asheshanandaji said, on this side of Maya, we have the question but no answer. On that side of Maya, they have the answer but no question. Probably it is Asheshanandaji who said that. I read it somewhere. So it is other than the known, other than the unknown. It is consciousness itself. It's bare consciousness. Not even the body, not the mind, not the causal body. It is. Then what? If these three, if you divorce the I, the self, from these three, these are the objective components. The Professor Arindam Chakravarti, the reason I mentioned him is, he defined an object. What is an object? Beautiful definition. He does this cheekily, half humorously and half seriously. But always there's a profound insight. He said an object is anything that objects to your consciousness. Apply it and see. Think of you, the consciousness, as a field of light, spreading out. Then it runs into a glass, a microphone, a table, a sound, a thought, a feeling. These are all objects, physical or subtle. What are they doing? They're objecting to your consciousness. They are as if resisting your consciousness. They're as if opaque to your consciousness. They stand out as a resistor to your consciousness. So an object is anything that objects to your consciousness, to consciousness. So all these objects, this body is an object. The mind is an object. Mind's thoughts, feelings are objects. Even the absence of those thoughts and feelings, the causal body, that's also an object. The bare eye, the naked awareness, the bare luminosity, what the Buddhists call the clear light of the void. The clear light of the void. Beautiful phrasing. Clear light of the void. That which is you, which is your real nature, which is my real nature, which is our real nature, is other than the known, other than the unknown. And the rest of the Upanishad is just further explication, expansion on this one idea. Other than the known, other than the unknown. Let me just say what happens next, quickly go through it, and then we will take some questions. Yadvachanabhyuditam yena vagabhyudyate tadeva brahmatvam viddhi nedam yadidam upasate. The teacher goes on teaching. What cannot be expressed by language, but by which all language is illumined. All language functions because of that. Know that to be Brahman, not what you worship here as this. Yat chakshusha pashyati yena chakshungshi pashyati tadeva brahmatvam viddhi nedam yadidam upasate. What cannot be seen by the eyes, and yet by which the eyes are able to see. Know that to be Brahman, not what you worship here as this. Yanmanasana manute yena hurmano matam tadeva brahmatvam viddhi nedam yadidam upasate. What the mind cannot conceive of, yet that which illumines the mind. Know that to be Brahman, not what you worship here as this. Yat pranena na praniti yena prana praniyate tadeva brahmatvam viddhi nedam yadidam upasate. Which the sense of smell cannot objectify, but because of which you have the sense of smell or taste. Any of the senses. Know that to be Brahman, not what you worship here as this. So, this is the teaching. Many things are here which can be unpacked, but I'm not going to go into that. We will do some Q&A soon. What was said here? Brahman is not the physical world. Nothing objective. It's not the body. It's not the mind. It's not language. It's not senses. It's not the mind. It is pure consciousness. Because they know that to be Brahman. And yet it is something right here which illumines the mind, body, senses and reveals the world. That's one thing that is said here in these verses, in these mantras. Second thing is, know that to be Brahman. Very interesting phrasing. He did not say, know that to be Atman. He said, know that to be Brahman. Now this phrasing is very important. Brahman in the Advaitic, in the Vedantic terminology is the ground, the adhisthana, the underlying reality of the universe. He did not say, that which eyes cannot see, by which the eyes see, know that to be pure consciousness and you are that pure consciousness. No, he says, know that to be the reality of the universe, Brahman, and you are that Brahman. But Brahman, are you talking about God? He says, yes, I'm talking about God. But God is that which we are worshipping. He says, not what you worship here as this. If you worship God as an object, that is only an indirect approach to God. God is that which is the essence of the pure subject. Maharaj knows this, our Swami Ramananda ji, who is a very senior monk, who is in Banaras now. He told me this story. When he was a youngster, he used to go to revered Swami Premeshananda ji. He was a disciple of the Holy Mother, Ma Sharda. And Premeshananda ji was regarded as an enlightened master in our order, in his own lifetime. So this young man used to go to him, who later became Swami Ramananda, who told me the story. So one day he said, I went to that old Swami who was sick and lying in a cot. As I bowed down to him, he looked at me and with a shaky finger, frail finger, he touched me. I was so surprised, I jerked my head back. And he said, there, that one which startled, jerked its head back, that one. Other than that, there is no rascal called God. In Bengali he said, oi je chomke utlo, o chhada kono shala bhagavan nei. Now what does he mean by that? He means that, he does not mean that body. He does not mean that young man who got surprised and startled. He means consciousness itself. He means awareness itself, which is revealed in a flash in that moment of utter surprise. The Kashmiri Shaivas call it chamatkara. So, that pure consciousness, in association with this body-mind is this young man. In association with this body-mind is the Swami Premeshananda. In association with the entire universe is what we call God. But it's basically the same pure consciousness. That's the meaning of you are that, Tattvamasi. Not as a person. That's sacrilegious. The person is not God. The person can only be a devotee of God. The person can either believe in God or disbelieve in God. But the core of the person, the reality of the person, and the reality of God are one and the same. Here I'm quoting the great Christian mystic, the Rhineland mystic, Eckhart, Meister Eckhart, not Eckhart Tolle. Though they would say the same thing, he also says exactly the same thing. But Meister Eckhart, he says, a beautiful phrase. If you study Meister Eckhart, you feel you're studying with Advaita Vedanta. And remember, he came to it himself. It's not that there was some Vedantic influence on him. It was in the 13th century in Germany, long before the Europeans discovered the Upanishads in India. So he came to it by a study of Christian theology, by a study of the Bible, and his own, and of course it's already influenced heavily by Neoplatonism and all. But so he comes to it. Listen to this, what he is saying. The ground of my soul and the ground of God are one and the same ground. What an amazing thing to say. Ground means the reality, the core of what God is and what I am. We are one and the same reality. So, tadeva brahmatvam viddhi. Not God which you worshipped as this. God which is worshipped in the Spirit, by the Spirit. As pure luminosity, as pure consciousness. There's also another interesting thing. I'll end with this. So as worship as this, then what about the whole theory of image worship in Hinduism? What does it mean? Is it wrong? What is the meaning of it? What is the in-depth meaning of the image worship? All that is, the secrets are hidden here. So let me take a break. We'll have Q&A and then we will proceed further in this very surprising and amazing Upanishad in the afternoon session. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. We'll do Q&A now for some time. Yes. So what we do for Q&A is, you raise your hand and I'll call upon you, ask the question, make it short, and you want to take the microphone to you can rephrase it and then I'll rephrase it so that for the benefit of the recording. All right, the lady there, yes. Please ask the question. You just stand up and ask the question.
Swamiji, my name is Ramya.
Yes.
So, anytime I'm in a Vedanta class, I think of this parable of the two fishes swimming in the sea.
The parable of the two?
Two fishes swimming in the sea.
Yes.
And there's a big fish that swims by. And ironically, the fish's name is Swami Sarvapriyananda. He says, how's the water, boys? Right? And the little fishes look at themselves and say, what's water? That's kind of how all these little fishes here feel like. According to Ishavasya Upanishad, Brahman is everywhere, is all pervading, right? But when you ask what is water or what is Brahman, generally you say, okay, do some karma yoga, purify your mind, do some bhakti yoga, meditation to kind of focus your mind, calm your mind, right? After hearing your talks, come to realize that I have to create this karma characteristic in my mind to understand and get Brahman. So there's a lot of doing. So I feel like the essence of Advaita is to transcend this doership, right? How do we do that?
How do we do not doing?
Yes. What does that
Yes.
look like?
It's well phrased. So here's the question.
Like for us? Yeah.
The question that Ramya is asking is, like the fish wondering what is water. They're always surrounded by water. I think we are supposed to be, 70% water or something, this body, physical body? Fish maybe a little more than that. So they have water inside, outside, everywhere there's water, above them, below them, around them. And they have lived all their lives in water. And yet they are wondering what water is. Professor Garfield, who is an authority on Tibetan Buddhism, under whom I had the privilege of studying for some time, he says, fish are the wrong people to ask about water. They're constantly immersed in water. Similarly, we are the wrong people to ask about Brahman, because we are constantly immersed in Brahman and we are Brahman. Yesterday I mentioned that beautiful experience I had online watching the conclusion of Durga Puja in Belur Math this year, just a few days ago. The Tantradharak Maharaj, in his sonorous voice, he chanted, how beautiful, how sublime it is at the end of the 5 days of puja in front of the image of Mother Durga, surrounded by the president of the Ramakrishna order, Revered Swami Gautamananji Maharaj, and other vice presidents and the host of senior monks in the front of thousands of devotees and standing with flowers in the hand and about to make the final offering of the puja. And what does he chant? Bhutani Durga, all sentient beings are Durga. Bhuvanani Durga, all the worlds are Durga. Striya Naraschapi Pashuscha Durga, all women are Durga. The feminine is Durga. All men too are Durga. All the animals and living beings are Durga. Yad yad drishyam khalu saiva Durga. Whatever is experienced, object. Drishyam, object of experience. Whatever is an object of experience, verily, all of that is she, Durga. Durga Swarupat Atiriktam Nakinchit. There is nothing beyond the real nature of Durga. Swarupa, the real nature of Durga. What is the real nature of Durga? Pure consciousness or pure being or Satchidananda. This is what you are saying. They are surrounded by water. But yet we don't see Durga. We are literally immersed in Durga. Durga here, I'm just saying using the word. It means the Divine Mother, it means pure consciousness. We are immersed in that. By the way, in this Upanishad, later Durga will make an appearance. In the 3rd chapter of this Upanishad. We won't get to that, but she will make an appearance and enlighten the gods, the devatas, and reveal Brahman. What will she say? She'll say, this is Brahman, or that was Brahman. But what it means is what I just said now. The worlds are Durga, the beings are Durga, everything that we experience is Durga. All right. And the nature of this consciousness is not doing. It's not action. It's already an accomplished fact. There is no change involved here. No transformation involved here. It's always there. In the midst of the changing and the unchanging, underlying both is this pure consciousness. Call it Durga, Atma, Brahma, whatever you call it. The Buddha nature. It's there. Therefore, attaining to it is also called attaining to non-doing. There is one of the greatest texts of post-Shankara Vedanta is called Naishkarmya Siddhi. The perfection of non-doing. Attainment to the perfection of non-doing. That also sounds like doing. And you're saying it takes a lot of doing. Yes. There was a monk in Uttarakhand, in Hindi he said this, that when he was a kid in a village, he would go out looking for monks and asking for advice. And there would always be wandering monks on the bank of the Ganga there. And they would give advice to this young boy. So he says, one remarkable monk I found who seemed to be a bit eccentric, and I asked him, after serving him with food, giving food, and I said, now please give me some advice. What should I do? Kya kare Mahatma ji? What spiritual practice should I do, O master, O monk? And the monk said, kuch mat karo, don't do anything. Don't do anything. So he said, I was taken aback, don't do anything? He said, yes. Without doing anything also, you have got all of this has appeared, this samsara. Imagine if you start doing it, will keep on increasing. बिन किए ही इतना सब आ गया, आप करोगे तो और बढ़ता जाएगा. And then he said, but if you cannot not do anything, then do these spiritual practices. Then devote yourself to God, serve the needy, meditate on God, and inquire into who am I. All of this Vedanta and everything comes if you can't stop yourself from doing stuff. But yes, the answer is, all the spiritual practices, they are, from a Vedantic perspective, they are not doing, they are undoing. They are uncovering. Ishavas, you refer to the Isha Upanishad. Ishavasyam idam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. The entire universe of the moving and non-moving, this entire world of our experience has to be covered by God. And Shankaracharya, he comments there, covered by God means uncovered. So God is already there. You don't have to put a layer of God on top of the world. No. It means uncover. How do you uncover God? You discover. Cover everything by God is equal to uncover God, is equal to discover God. How do you discover? You inquire. Any discovery is because of inquiry. Vichar, inquire. What inquiry? This inquiry, this Drigdrishya Viveka, the inquiry in Kena Upanishad, in the Taittiriya Upanishad, in the Mandukya Upanishad. These are methods of inquiry. All the rest of the practices are undoing. We have already spun a web and we are caught in that web. All our practices are basically untangling ourselves. It's like this. Young man, he became a disciple of a monk and he said, please enlighten me, free me from samsara, free me. And the monk said, all right, keep coming. And he used to stay in a cave on top of a mountain. And the young man would trudge up daily from his village to the mountain to wait for the instruction which would free him. And in the meanwhile, the monk kept him busy to sweep the cave and to cut the brambles and, and go and beg for food in the village and bring him food and all sorts of stuff, till the young man thought, I'm just being exploited here. He's not teaching me, he's not freeing me. So he gave an ultimatum to the master. He said, unless you free me, I won't come back anymore. I'm going to go to a different master. So the master said, all right, I'll free you. Come tomorrow in the morning. So he comes in the morning and he sees there's a solitary tree outside the cave. And the master, the monk, is hugging the tree with all his might and shouting, "Free me, free me, free me." And the disciple rushed up to him and is trying best to pull away one finger and two fingers. The master is holding onto the tree, grasping tightly. He's trying to untangle him and trying to make him ungrasp it. But every time he takes away one finger, and then the other one comes back and grabs hold of the tree or the branches. And finally the disciple is exhausted. He just says, "Just let go." And the master said, "Precisely." Swami Vivekananda, in his poem, The Song of the Sannyasi, the philosophy of the sannyasi is letting go. "Let go thy hold," he says. "Thine only is the hand that holds the rope that drags thee on. Let go thy hold, sannyasi bold, say Om Tat Sat Om." Letting go our hold is not easy. We are grasping onto things, onto people, onto ideas, onto our life story, our pet grievances, all sorts of things, to the body. We are holding on to it with a death grip. And everything is being torn away from our grip. That's the tragedy of our lives. Our possessions go away, our wealth goes away, our people, our beloved people go away. Even worse, our enemies go away. Yeah. They will not remain. These are the ones who give definition to our lives. Yeah, we might think it's funny that we might say enemies. We hold on to our enemies probably more than we hold on to our beloved ones. There's a story about Pablo Picasso, the eccentric master painter. He wrote a fierce attack on one of the art critics in Paris. And somebody said, "But Maestro, he never said anything against you. Why are you being so nasty to him?" And the painter reputedly replied in all seriousness. He said, "But one needs great enemies to do great work." He's creating an enemy, so making sure he hates me. And then all of it goes away. And then finally our body too will go away. Death is inevitable. Vivekananda says, "Emperors die and paupers die. The learned die and the ignorant die. Sinners die and saints die. In the end, death comes for all of us." So the body too will be snatched away from us. Everything that we hold on to, we cannot hold on to. But Vedanta says we need not hold on to it. The reason why we are holding on to these things is we do not know who we are. There's a saying in English, "Get hold of yourself." Good, precisely. We do not know ourselves. That's why in our desperation to fulfill ourselves, we are holding on to the body, the person, possessions, other people, our achievements, our memories, some scrap of recognition in this world. We are like billionaires on welfare. Why? Why are you on welfare? It doesn't make sense. It's because I don't know where my billions are. First of all, I didn't know I was a billionaire. Thank you for telling me. Second, I don't know where the billions are. I don't have access to it. Vedanta is that which tells you that you are a billionaire and gives you the key, the access to it. So, that undoing, that's very difficult. All sadhana in Vedanta is negative. It is to remove from us the error that we are body-mind. This one. This detachment from body-mind and realization that I am pure consciousness. Actually, our state is already this. But somehow we feel we are like this. So this detachment, it takes all that doing. Who is next? Only we'll go to the back of the hall. The gentleman with the cap. Yeah, just ask your question. Tell us your name and ask the question.
I'm John. Thanks, Swamiji. I'm really blessed to see you in person. And my question is, Brahman is defined as ever-present existence and consciousness. So there can never be a time when there is no consciousness or existence. If we consider this example, for example, a million years ago, when there were no conscious beings present, how can we say that consciousness existed at that time?
Okay.
Does not this challenge that conscious beings challenge the Brahman is ever-present consciousness and existence? And if Brahman is everything second thing apart from Brahman,
Yes.
then why we keep on hearing this thing that I'm not this body, I'm not this mind? Isn't it that body, mind, everything is Brahman?
Very good questions. Really good questions. So two good questions. One is, you're saying there's always consciousness. Brahman is always there. It's pure consciousness. Consciousness is always there. But we know conscious beings evolved. Darwin tells us so. Our biology books tell us so. We evolved just a few million years ago. Before that, there were no living beings. Life evolved after some time. And if you say consciousness evolved along with life, very good. Few million years ago. Hundreds of millions of years ago. But billions of years, the universe is billions of years old. Where was consciousness then? Remember, Brahman consciousness is eternal. It's older than the universe itself. Let alone living beings. It's older than the universe itself. Never said that living beings or conscious beings are eternal. Conscious beings and consciousness are different. Look at yourself. We go through waking, dreaming, clearly we are conscious now. When we fall asleep and dream, clearly we are conscious in some way at that time. But in deep sleep, we don't seem to be conscious at all. There's no manifestation of consciousness there. But that does not mean consciousness is gone. It's the witness of that deep sleep state. Similarly, imagine Brahman exists, existence, consciousness, bliss. But there are no worlds, no galaxies or stars. The Big Bang has not happened. I think the latest iteration of the Big Bang theory is that Big Bang never happened. There's another creation theory coming in now. Doesn't matter. Imagine the universe has not been created yet. Brahman still exists as existence, consciousness, bliss. It's not, but there are no existing things yet. There are no conscious beings yet. There is no experienceable bliss yet. What's it like? It'll be a bit like our deep sleep state. So, my answer to you is that it is when, suppose you take the entire, the story which we have got, our modern understanding of science, universe, evolution of planets, evolution of inhabitable planets, then the origin and evolution of life, and then life evolves to have better nervous systems and brains, and there consciousness manifests. All right, that comes billions of years later. You can just say consciousness was waiting to manifest when the proper instruments became available. Just because there are no mirrors to reflect my face doesn't mean my face is not there. One day a mirror will come along and I see my face. And now there's the face and the reflected face. But even before the mirror and the reflected face, yes, there was no reflected face at that time. Because there was no mirror. But the original face was there. Just that I couldn't see the original face. Similarly, consciousness could have just as well existed prior to all things and prior to living beings, prior to nervous systems and brains. It's just that consciousness would not be experiencing itself. It did not have a reflection as yet, the reflected consciousness. The second part of your question was, all is Brahman. There's nothing except Brahman. Then why do you say, I am not the body, not the mind? Brahman or Atman is separate from body and mind. I have to realize this. So what about these? You are saying that this Brahman is everything. So why are you saying not body, not mind, not the causal body, not the three bodies? I am pure consciousness. That means pure consciousness is distinct from all of them. I'll give you two observations. Okay, let me make it easy first, then make it difficult. Why this is done is it's as a teaching. That's all. It's not the final truth. It's the teaching. What is the final truth? Non-dual Brahman, existence, consciousness, bliss. Brahman is real, the world is false, you are none other than Brahman. This is the teaching for whom? The seeker. Sadhaka, the seeker on the path of non-duality. What do we need to hear and practice? Brahman is real, the world is false. And you are Brahman. Brahman is real, the world is false. Why this teaching is necessary? Because for us, Brahman is a theory and the world is the only reality there exists. For us, the snake is real. We don't know that it's a rope. How do you point out the rope to the person who thinks it's a snake? You'll have to do two things. You'll have to convince him it's not a snake. And you'll have to convince him it is a rope. If you just tell him the rope is real, look for the rope, he'll say, oh, this is a snake, it can't be a rope, let me look elsewhere. He'll never find the rope. What do you have to tell him? It's not a snake, it's the rope. What do I have to tell us? What does Vedanta tell us? It's not a world, it's Brahman. How is it Brahman? Then you introduce pure consciousness, pure existence. Then you introduce not the body, not the mind, until we get an ascertain what pure consciousness is. That's what is going on in the Upanishad. Ear of the ear, mind of the mind. Why not then ear, mind? What about the ear, the mind, the body, the speech? What about them? You're separating. We will see later on. It will come. But right now we are in the process of separation. Why separate? Because until we isolate the reality, we will never know what all these things are. I think it's a necklace. You are telling me it's gold. I don't understand. What do you mean? It's a necklace. It's a bracelet. It's a ring. Then you'll have to teach me. Other than the name and the form and the function of the necklace, other than the name and the form and the function of the bracelet, other than the name and the form and the function of the ring, there is a substance called gold, which is common to all of them. Once I understand what is gold, what will you tell me? See, the necklace is nothing but gold. The ring is nothing but gold. The bracelet is nothing but gold. Once I realize I am pure consciousness, then I will see this body, mind, and nothing but pure consciousness. There are appearances in pure consciousness. It's pure consciousness itself which is appearing as the mind, as the body, as the senses, as the world. Then it will be true for me. Bhutani Durga, Bhuvanani Durga. All beings are pure consciousness, are the Divine Mother. The worlds are the Divine Mother. I am not saying they are separate. Durga is separate and the world is separate. No. They are. Then it becomes non-dual. What you are saying is the final position. What we are doing first, right now what's going on in the Upanishad, is the teaching. Otherwise we'll never get there. What is the position of the seeker? What is the position of the finder? In Sanskrit, sadhaka, siddha. What is the position of the sadhaka? Position means the paradigm. Brahman is real, the world is false. I am Brahman. Brahma satyam, jagat mithya, jiva brahmaiva napara, or aham brahmasmi. What is the position of the siddha, the perfected one, the jivan mukta, the enlightened one? We will not say Brahman is real and the world is false. No. One non-dual Brahman alone. Ekameva dvitiyam, satchidananda, that alone exists, nothing else. It's not that Brahman exists and a false world exists. It's not that the real self exists and a false self exists. That's duality. That will have to be resolved. Even I am Brahman, that's also a teaching. That's not something to be held on to finally. I have heard this story about the great emperor Janaka Raja, who is the master of non-dual Vedanta, and his teacher, Shukadeva. Sometimes in stories it's Shukadeva, sometimes it's Ashtavakra. So let's say it's Shukadeva who is teaching him Vedanta, that you are Brahman. And the emperor is convinced. He goes to the bank of the river and sits down and meditates and repeats, I am Brahman, I am Brahman, aham brahmasmi, aham brahmasmi, I am Brahman. And then the master, Shukadeva, sees him doing that and he sits down next to him. Now the wandering monks always carry a stick, they call it danda, and a water pot, they call it a kamandalu. So this works nicely in Hindi actually. The emperor is sitting there repeating, I am Brahman, my Brahma hu, my Brahma hu, my Brahma hu, aham brahmasmi, aham brahmasmi, aham brahmasmi, I am Brahman. And the monk sitting next to him starts chanting, ye dand hai, ye kamandal hai, ye dand hai, ye kamandal hai. This is a stick, this is a pot, this is a stick, this is a pot. The emperor looks at him in annoyance and starts chanting even more loudly, aham brahmasmi, I am Brahman, I am Brahman, ye dand hai, ye kamandal hai, ye dand. Finally the emperor gets exasperated. Why, you stupid? Everybody knows it's a stick and a pot. Why are you shouting? And the monk said, precisely. There must come a time when you find it. Then you don't hold on to formulas like, I am Brahman, the world is an appearance. I remember this monk who was, in Haridwar. I was attending a Vedanta class with a great Vedanta teacher who passed away about a decade ago, more than a decade ago, Ramananda Saraswati. And this young monk was arguing. This I did not see myself. No, this I was present, I think. There, at the end of this, the young monk says to the teacher, but at least that much we must hold on to. I am Brahman. We must hold on to that much, right? That's one practice, doing. I must hold on to that. And the master said immediately, that's exactly what you must not hold on to. Wahi to nahi pakadna hai. What does that mean? Should I not hold on to? At the end of your Vedantic inquiry, do not use your mind to hold on to this formula, I am Brahman. You are not the body, you are not the speech, you are not the mind. It's like saying, let the glass hold on to the water. That's all, I'm entirely dependent on. I have nothing to do with the glass or the water. I am who I am Brahman. It does not require, I don't depend on the mind to think. This is what happens. When we are fully convinced, these doubts will come. Yeah, I am convinced. I sort of get it. But when I fall asleep, it's gone. And tomorrow if I get Parkinson's or Alzheimer's, the disease will be gone. And if I die and forget all this next life, I'll be born again and I'll all be gone. It's entirely dependent on the mind, right? Not at all. It's not at all dependent. Once you realizing it takes the body, senses, mind, for that you need Vedanta and all of that. Once you realize, you'll immediately realize it does not depend on the mind, on your saying I am Brahman. It does not depend on the mind thinking I am Brahman. Not at all. They are all dependent on you. You are not dependent on them at all. You are not dependent on anything. Here, idam, nedam yadidam upasate. The entire world order, the big and the small, all people, learned and otherwise, good and bad, and your own body, and your senses, and the mind, and understanding, and ignorance, all of it depends on you and is illumined by you. It's like clouds which are illumined by the light of the sun. The beautiful display in the cloud is not holding the light. You see, the cloud seems orange, luminous cloud during sunset. So without the cloud, how will the light be there? No. The cloud is not holding the light. Cloud is being illumined by the same sunlight. Without the cloud also, the sunlight is there. Without the sunlight, cloud will have no light. So you are that light. You are the sun. You don't need, the sun does not depend on the cloud to reflect its light. Sun is light itself, endless light. You are Satchidananda. You don't depend on that. But after realization, you realize that body, mind, world, everything is Brahman. Sri Ramakrishna says, when you climb up on the staircase of a house, you leave behind the ground floor, the first floor, the staircase, and go to the roof of the house, and you find what the roof is made of. The cement, the mortar, and the wood and everything the roof is made of. Then you look back, and what you had left behind, you find the whole thing is made of the same thing. The staircase and the rest of the house. But one must climb up to the roof of the house. One must go by the path of not this, not the world, not the body, not the senses, not the mind. Aha! Then I realize I am pure consciousness. Now look back. Body, mind, world, they are nothing but pure consciousness. They are not separate from pure consciousness. They are not appearances in pure consciousness. They are literally pure consciousness. There are three ways, I'll use Vedantic terms, of looking at the world. Prakriti Parinama, the entire universe is a manifestation, a transformation of nature. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, the constituents of nature, are the five elements, space, air, fire, water, earth, have combined in, or our, 150, 60, we learned the periodic table. All that has combined to make this universe, including the body and the brain and nervous system. Everything is just transformation of nature. You are pure consciousness. This is a Sankhyan worldview. Even this will work. This will save you from trouble. Or go one step forward into Vedanta. All of this is called Maya or Brahma Vivarta, an appearance of Brahman, like a dream. Brahman is the reality, the world is a dream. The dream is nothing other than the dreamer. So the universe is nothing other than you, the pure consciousness. That's the second level of analysis. Final analysis is not a transformation of nature, not an appearance like a dream. It is Brahman alone. There is nothing other than Brahman. It just looks like this. I remember asking Another great monk, Maharaj also remembers, Upen Maharaj, Nirmuktanandaji, is disciple of Mahapurush Maharaj. He was in Belur Mutt, in our main monastery there, sitting on the bank of the Ganga in the mother's temple, Ma Sharada's temple. I was a young monk. I always had the feeling he's an enlightened monk. So I went and asked him, how do enlightened beings look upon the world? Is it like a shadow? Because I had this idea in my mind, Brahman and a dream-like world appearance. Like a shadow, like a dream. He paused for one moment and he said something so clearly, I can visualize him sitting here. At that time he was 99 or 100 years old. He was sitting right there and he says, no, why should that be? Not two, there is only one. In Bengali he said, na ta keno hobe, dui noy eki ache. There is only one reality. It's my Vedantic conditioning which is making me distinguish between the two. See, ultimately the golden necklace is not two things, not gold and a necklace. Not a real gold and a ghostly outline of a necklace. It is gold through and through. Just that we don't understand what gold is. We understand only the necklace. Then we are introduced to the gold by stepping aside from the name, form, activity of the necklace to understand the gold. But then you let go of that distinction and say there is gold only. Similarly, there is Brahman only. That does not prevent you from functioning in the world. The body will still do what the body does. The eyes will work, the ears will work, the mind will think. And you can function much better in the world than any other unenlightened person. Yeah, that's a good question. Two questions he had. One is, where is consciousness at some early stage of evolution? Second is, so my answer was, short answer, unmanifest. There, but unmanifest. Second question was that, why are you saying I'm not body, not mind? If Brahman alone exists, that is true. But in the initial stage, the undoing stage, we must say we are not body, mind. We must do the neti and realize we are pure consciousness. Then everything will be, you'll see, surcharged with the same limitless consciousness. Yes.
Thank you, Swami. This is Sumant here. Thank you for your tireless work, leading us to the light. So I actually had two related questions. One on AI, as you've been talking about. We'll soon be achieving AGI or even super AGI. Given that
You are one of the AI enthusiasts.
so given that it will be consuming all the knowledge, including your talks, what do you think will happen? Will it reach enlightenment by itself? That's my first question. Second question, I'm curious, what would Shankara or Gaudapada think about AI if they lived during this time?
You'll have to ask them, really. I am undecided. We are all in the early days of AI. See, I'm undecided why earlier I was more on the side of thinking it's a clever toy. It's powerful. Why it's powerful? Because a machine which operates at the subtler something is, the more powerful it is. So it's a machine, but it's not a machine like a bulldozer. It's a machine which operates at the level of knowledge, language and knowledge. And it imitates us so spectacularly well that you could mistake it for a sentient being. But is it nevertheless a clever toy? Well, then you have to probably, if you call it, now I feel if you call it a toy, you'll have to redefine what a toy is. So, yes. I say that it really reinforces our understanding of Vedanta. When I say consciousness and buddhi, intellect, are different, that's what Vedanta says. Intelligence and consciousness are different. Clearly you can see it in the case of the AI. The AI duplicates, imitates, does a good facsimile of all our internal faculties. So our thinking, memory, creativity, decision making, all of these things are being duplicated by the AI, and in some ways much more powerfully than human beings can do. But one thing, as far as we can see till now, and I'm a little undecided about that, is this reflected consciousness which we have, this empirical consciousness which we feel, which the student is asking. In the Kenopanishad, how is it that I see, hear, smell, taste, touch, think, speak? I think both the student and the teacher of Kenopanishad would be fascinated by AI. They would be immediately on ChatGPT, I think. Yeah, so it's early days. They actually demonstrated to me in UT Austin as a postgraduate project, Sarvapriyananda AI. They had fed it 1,000 hours of videos of my talks, plus it has access to the entire internet up to 2022, I think. So you could ask questions. I also asked it questions. I asked it some difficult questions and it gave rich answers, good answers. I have to admit, better than I could. And not only that, I can't deny that I said those things because it has got this time-stamped videos it will show you as evidence. This is where you said it. It is still prone to the small problems which you find in AI generally, but getting better. That the problem of hallucination. Sometimes AI lies outright. One thing AI has a problem of doing is saying is, I don't know. So even if it doesn't know, it will tell you something. The philosopher David Chalmers told me about this project. I have not investigated it yet. It is a philosopher AI. So they have programmed from ancient philosophers to modern living philosophers into that AI. So they have ancient philosophers, how they have uploaded all the available works, primary and secondary, into the AI. So whether it's Aristotle or Socrates or Plato or Kant or I don't know if they have done it for Indian philosophers yet. And David Chalmers himself, he says he's also there. There's an AI David Chalmers there. And he was asked, he told me he tested it. And he was saying that at first it was awful. Because every philosophical question you asked it started talking about hard problem of consciousness. It was more like a cartoon version of David Chalmers. But he says eventually, from that time till now, it has gotten quite big, quite good. You get a fair representation of David Chalmers himself. And that's true not only of him, of other philosophers, both living and dead. This is where we are moving towards. There are many, many ramifications. For example, in one talk a few months back, I was asked to give a talk on, I said, look, AI, I don't know why people are calling me on AI related issues. I have no idea of AI. I'm not even close to being an expert. I'm interested in the philosophical side of AI. What it means for consciousness, what it means specially for Indian philosophy and more specially for Advaita Vedanta. That's all my interest lies in. So they asked me, all right, you don't have to speak about AI, but please speak about the potential harm that AI can do to spiritual life. So can you speak about that? Can you speak to that? And I remembered I had given a similar talk where I had mentioned 4 points of concern for AI, which AI can have for spiritual life, and had forgotten what those 4 points were. So I asked AI, what harm you can do to spiritual life? What does Sarvapriyananda think about it? 4 points. Immediately, half a second, it brought out the 4 points that Sarvapriyananda had said these 4 points. And there is a book on AI by Rajiv Malhotra of the Infinity Foundation. So there those 4 points are there. For example, I'll just mention that and stop. I really cannot give a definitive answer at this point. So there are, for example, here is one problem which will be there. This fragmentation of attention. So our modern digital world, these phones, and our social media, it is really very distracting. Our attention is scattered in the world. Why? Because there's something called a attention economy now. These social media platforms, they're trying to get as much eyeball time from us as possible. Why? Because it translates into advertisement dollars for them, it seems. So this is well known. So what they do is they train us to be distracted. And these phones, our social media things, continuously being engaged on social media, that works out to billions of dollars of ad revenue for these platforms. But what it does to us is this phenomenon called intermittent attention. So our attention is continuously broken. We have a tendency of looking at our phones every few minutes. And this has been done on purpose. So in the Silicon Valley and these big companies, they actually hired psychologists. And they, what is called the Las Vegas, this gambling machine psychology, that if you play in these gambling machines, it's not that you will win every time or you lose every time. there is a probabilistic distribution of wins and losses. But what that does is, our human beings, our psychology is we get hooked. The idea is, just let me try once more, maybe I will win. It's possible you may win. Statistically, on the long run, the house only wins. You will never win. But once in a while, you will win. So that keeps us at least hooked. And some people are more prone to this addiction than others. It's a gambling addiction. Now, what the psychologists did was they transferred the same thing into these phones and into social media. So that once in a while, you will see ting or a ping or a ring or something like that will come. And some messages come, some social media update. 99.99% of which is garbage. But we still have that feeling. Maybe next time I'll win, which means next time something important may come. FOMO, fear of missing out. And that keeps us hooked to these machines. And then that generates dollar. But what the payment we make for it, it's free. It's not free. It comes at a terrible cost. The payment we make for it is in terms of our attention. The most valuable resource which we have is our attention. Young children, for example, or in corporates, or in universities, people are perpetually distracted. And most of the distraction is not work-related, not productivity-related, not study-related. It's because of the social media and phones and all that. So that is one problem which we already have. It's widespread. AI is only going to do that much more efficiently. It will be used to target us more individually so that we get more attracted and hooked to our phones and AI and social media. So that's one bad effect. Attention, concentration is absolutely necessary for any higher pursuit. Suppose you are an artist or a scientist doing research. Attention is your currency. If you throw it away, your work will suffer, especially if you're doing not regular work, but creative work. Even regular work, just assignments for a school or your next deadline in the office, all of them require some sustained attention. And this is damaging to that also. The offices all over the world, companies are reporting losses in productivity in Gen Z. They are not as productive as you would expect them to be. So this is one effect. This is even more exacerbated in spiritual life. Spiritual life really, really demands attention. That's the meaning. In the biblical, God is a jealous God. No second. Attention should not be divided. If attention is divided, samsara. Attention is one, God. So AI is only going to make this problem worse. That is one danger. If you're interested, another danger is multiplication of desires. So our modern internet and all is used to further increase our consumerist society, more desire, more desire. AI will just exacerbate this, because AI, we are talking about consciousness and AI. Really, the AI experts are not bothered about consciousness. If you go to industry, people who are paying for AI, the big industries and the companies, they are interested in the dollars which come out of it. They are not interested in consciousness enough. So how does it translate into money? If you can use it to further segment the market, to individually target consumers and make them spend. They just want you to spend your money. First your time, then your money. Even just time itself is good for them. The more time they get from you, it translates ultimately into money for them. So desires hook us, make us consume more and more. Even if you don't consume products, you consume AI. You consume screen time. That also is good enough for those companies. So AI will just exacerbate that problem. That's the second problem it can create. Like this. Third problem I remember was a philosophical problem. What is our view of the human being in this Upanishads, Vedanta, that we are all trying to push for, that we are pure consciousness. We are not body, not mind. What AI does is the opposite. AI analyzes and reduces you to a set of desires and tendencies and impulses, which is basically mind and body. AI is not interested in you as spirit or consciousness. It's just the opposite view of the human being. It reaffirms our existence in samsara. So these are the negative sides. Positive sides, even to tell you all this, I needed AI. I had forgotten. I had to say, tell me the points of concern. These are the points of concern. We have got a few minutes. Yes, the gentleman, young man here.
My question is related to...
Tell us your name.
I'm Raghav.
Raghav.
So can the body activities, mind activities, and identification with the witness or self, can they coexist?
Can body activity... yes, because?
Because it seems like still a duality, because there is a subject and object division, right? So
question is, can the identification with the real self, witness consciousness, pure consciousness, I am pure consciousness, if this becomes clear, can it coexist with bodily and mental activities? Let me ask you one question. Right now, if Vedanta is true, you must be Brahman or Atman. You are Brahman, you are Atman, you are the witness consciousness. Are you able to talk, walk, see, eat, play? Yes. So Brahman can very well coexist. Atman can very well coexist with body, mind, world activities. Why can it coexist? Because the ultimate answer is body, mind, world are not ultimately other than Brahman. You are asking like, can an unmoving screen, movie screen, coexist with violent action movie? In the action movie there are, let us say, dinosaurs and Jurassic Park, I'm thinking of children running away and dinosaurs chasing them. But you are saying the reality is an unmoving screen. Can the unmoving screen coexist with the moving dinosaur? Yes. That is your movie. That's in fact the definition of movie. In fact, the screen must be unmoving. If the screen also starts moving, then the movie will be spoilt. Screen must remain unmoving. You must remain as pure consciousness or Atman or Brahman in order to project the universe. So Brahman is there. That's why we have the universe experience. That's why we have body-mind experience. That's why all knowledge is possible. That was this question of the student. By what light, by what bright being am I able to see, hear, smell, taste, touch? Now you're asking that bright being and seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, are they compatible? Of course, that's how it's happening. Then what does Vedanta do? See, right now we have a layer of ignorance. We do not know that bright being. We are that bright being, and we are consciousness, pure consciousness, and we are continuing to walk, talk, play, enjoy, suffer. But we not knowing ourselves as pure consciousness, we identify with the projections of pure consciousness as this body-mind. And then we get caught in samsara. In order to free us from samsara, we have to realize what we truly are, already are. Then what will happen? What was compatible earlier will be still even more so compatible. Now you will realize, as John said, now you will realize this body also is Brahman, Atman is Brahman, a body is Brahman, consciousness is Brahman, mind is Brahman, senses are Brahman, objects are Brahman, Sarvam Durga. There is nothing else except God here. And yet all the activities will continue. And the answer to your question also, look at the lives of the saints. Look at Ramana Maharshi, Ramakrishna, Vivekananda. Did they walk? Did they talk? Did they laugh? Did they cry? Did they seem to enjoy and suffer? All of it is like us, except somehow they are free of it all. How Sri Ramakrishna says, Hari Maharaj asked him, sir, in the terminal throat cancer, sir, how are you today? He said, it hurts. I cannot eat. Then Hari Maharaj says, terminal stage, throat cancer. Sir, I see you are in great bliss. Sri Ramakrishna says, oh, the rascal has found me out. How is it that it hurts? Is he pretending? No, it hurts. I cannot eat. Is he pretending? No, he cannot eat. After some time he will die. The body will die. And yet he says, I am in great bliss. Is that he is pretending? No, that's also true. How? Up to the hurting and the not eating and the dying, that we can understand. We will have that same experience at the time of old age, disease, death. But what is that I am in great bliss? What is that Krishna says, being established in which the heaviest of sorrows cannot shake you? Now you are asking, heaviest of sorrows, is it compatible with Satchidananda? Yes. Only if you know you are Satchidananda, you will not be shaken. If we do not know, we will be swept away in samsara. That's what. Does it make sense? Yeah. If you dream, lucid dreaming, if you watch a movie, horror movie, but you know it's a movie, then it's all right. If you don't know it's a movie, Very scary. I say in the movie screen, if King Kong appears, everybody will enjoy and clap. King Kong is climbing Empire State Building and all that. But if a little monkey enters the movie hall, people will shout and run away. Why? Big monkey King Kong, no problem, on the screen. Little monkey, real. Oh my God. That difference. Yes. You had a question? Yes. Anka.
I'm Radhika, and on the same lines, my question, yesterday's talk, Shloka, Yotisha Mahita Jyoti, Tamasa Param Uchyate.
Yes. Jnanam Geyam Jnanagamyam Hridi Sarvasya Dishtitam. Yes.
So it is to be seen in my heart, in everybody's heart. And there is this Adibhautik, Adidaivic, Adhyatmic obstacles which prevent you from seeing it in others' heart, and in your own heart, you see it when, like, okay, I'm in a clean spot, doing this. And then I'm getting feedback that, it's all your mind. It's like, in the psychological term, the term might be gaslighting or whatever. Maybe I was dealing with that 10 years ago, but Vedanta really has raised my viewpoint to start. Now, how do I come to, what is it?
All right, think about it. Let me just tell you. Obstacles, you said. I remembered. Obstacles. I heard this nice anecdote. Again, in revered Swami Chaitanandaji's beautiful collection of stories of senior monks. Lot of anecdotes are there. Wonderful anecdotes are there. One anecdote was told to him by Swami Dhireshanandaji. Swami Dhireshanandaji, Maharaj, you have seen Swami Dhiresh? You have seen. I have not seen. He was a great Advaitic monk. So he told this anecdote about obstacles. I'm shortening it, sort of long story short. Sri Krishna said to the Pandavas that for any great task there are many obstacles. To Brahma Jnana there are 1,000,000 obstacles. To meditation there are 500,000 obstacles. To charitable work, to give in dana, and there are 100,000 obstacles. So Bhima said, where are these obstacles? I will smash them with my mace, my gada, the big mace he carries. So the mighty warrior, he said, I'll smash those obstacles. Then Krishna said, go, there is the Ganga. You will see so many pilgrims have come. It's a holy day. Go and take a dip. But even to take a dip in that Ganga, there will be 100,000 obstacles. So Bhima went. And he patrolled the bank of the Ganga with his mace, looking for the obstacles. And he saw many people coming and taking a bath in the Ganga and going. Then he went back to report to Krishna. And he said, what obstacles, O Krishna? I did not see any obstacles. I walked back and forth whole day with my Gada, waiting to smash those obstacles. Not one obstacle came in front of me. So where are these obstacles? Did you take a bath in the Ganga? He said, no. A whole day was spent busy looking for the obstacles, and I could not find any obstacles. But you did not take a bath. The day is gone. The holy moment has gone. And then Dhireshanji says to Swami Chaitananda, isn't it a fine story, the story of the 1,000,000 obstacles? We are walking back and forth on the bank of the Ganga. Right there is the Ganga of Brahman. Right there is the Ganga of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna Puta Ganga Brahmananda Shagore Dhai. The Ganga of Sri Ramakrishna, the pure Ganga of Sri Ramakrishna, is racing to the ocean of Brahmananda. Take a dip. Straight away, it's right here. Don't bother about obstacles, Adibhautik, Adhyatmik. Nothing is there. Bhima was right. Jump in. The only thing is there which distracts us, and we keep getting distracted. It's right in front. Take a dip. Take a dip, your lives will be blessed. You join the river of Sri Ramakrishna, which is racing to the ocean of Brahmananda. You will be carried along. Beautiful. Thank you. What is next? It's 12. Oh. Okay, we have a little time.
My name is Subramaniam. I've done Shravana and Manana, right? I've listened.
Not done. Continue.
And I'm convinced about Advaita Vedanta, but of course I'm not enlightened. I was hoping that you can give some practical advice on Like, for example, I was trying to explain to my wife the other day, you're not mad at me, you're mad at this body and mind. And it did not go well.
It'll just make her more mad. No. Yeah. It is to be applied to oneself, not to others. Vedanta is for oneself. Bhakti is for God. Our great, one of our great masters, under whom I studied, very senior, wonderful monk. He would scold us novices, monastic novices. He would say, Advaita is meant for applying to yourself. I am not the body, not the mind. And bhakti to God, to Ishvara. But you fools, you apply Advaita to God and bhakti to yourself. Advaita to God, oh, what is this God? It is kindergarten religion. I am Brahman, Satchidananda. This worship, image and song and ritualistic worship, this is all kindergarten. This is the wrong application of Advaita. And don't apply it to God. And bhakti to yourself. He says, applying, I am Brahman. The moment the lunch bell rings, all running, Brahman running for food. So you are basically worshipping the body, and worshipping the mind. So, the other way around. For Ishvara, for Bhagavan, for the Lord, have immense devotion. And about oneself, analyze. I am not the body, not the mind. I am the witness consciousness. You feel a deep oneness with others. When you feel a deep oneness with others, you will find they will be less and less mad with you, automatically. You'll be calm and you will see the point of view of others. So, the way to apply this is again the 4 yogas. Live a life, let us live a life of service. Let us live a life of concentration, meditation. Let us live a life of devotion. And continue your Vedantic Shravan Manan Nididhyasana. Why? Said, oh, I'm impatient, I'm not getting enlightened. But after an enlightenment, suppose you do get enlightened, what will you do next? Oh, then I can let go of Vedanta. No. Look at the lives of the enlightened ones. Did they say, been there, done that, now let me go back to Wall Street and earn $1 million. I've become enlightened now. No. If you're enlightened, you will stay there only. There will be nothing else except Vedanta for you then. That will be the only reality then. Bhakti, I have great devotion and love for God. Now, by the grace of God, I have the vision of God. Now I'll stop loving God because I already had the vision. There's no need anymore. Will that happen? No. Bhakti grows, keeps on growing. For the enlightened one, the devotee, lover of God, who is enlightened, what will that person do? Only love God all the more. The jnani, what will that person do? Will remain established in Brahman. Brahman above, Brahman below, Brahman on this side, on that side, Brahman before me, Brahman behind me. It is that will be the realization. So you will always stay there. Now we are making an effort, then it will become reality. Last question.
My name is Harsha. Thank you so much for your kindness. Maharaj, I had a daughter. The first daughter, we named her Sat. The name is Bhagi. I had another daughter, so we named her Brahmi, Chit. Of course, I don't have a third one, so it's no Ananda. But I have a question about Ananda. If Brahman is Sat, Chit, Ananda, isn't Ananda a manifestation or a superimposition of mind to things that are around you, where you call something as happiness or dukkha?
Yes.
But
Yes. Let me give you the direct answer to that, and then I'll expound a little bit on Satchidananda. The question is, I understand Sat, it's supposed to be pure being, like gold in the necklace. And gold is not a necklace or a bracelet, it is gold. Chit, it is the one pure consciousness. It's not a conscious thought or an emotion or an idea. It is not seeing, hearing, but it is that which makes possible all seeing, hearing, like the question which the student asked. So I understand the answer is pure consciousness. About all things, just like gold and ornaments, the answer is that all this is pure being or existence. But Ananda seems to be a feeling. Because the word Ananda means, our usual understanding of Ananda is joy, is pleasure, or even when you say bliss, it seems to be like a very pure, high kind of feeling. The answer is exactly like a Sat and Chit. Just like Sat is not an existing thing, but it is the existence of all things. Do we understand what is meant by this? Gold is not an ornament, but it is the material of all the ornaments, the substance of all the ornaments. Just like that, Sat is not an existing thing, but it is the existence of these things. One point. Second, Chit is not a conscious experience, but it is the consciousness which makes all experiences possible, which the student was asking actually in Kena Upanishad. Similarly, Ananda is not a particularly nice feeling, but it is the sum and substance, it is that which appears as all fulfilling experiences. All joy, all pleasure, all aesthetic, sublime feelings, all of that. The highest devotional experiences, feelings, love of God, love, beauty, joy, pleasure, all of these are manifestations of Ananda. But Ananda is not one type of feeling. Sat is not one type of existing thing. If you take an inventory of all existing things, you will not say there is chair, table, microphone and Sat. No. Microphone is, chair is, table is, that isness itself is Sat. Similarly, Chit. It's not that I have many kinds of experiences. I see, hear, smell, taste, touch, I think, I remember, I enjoy, I suffer, I wake, I dream, and I sleep. And plus one more experience is Chit. No, not like that. It is because of Chit only we are having all these experiences. Similarly, all our pleasurable experiences, from eating a cookie to the highest sadhaka's experience of dancing in joy and taking the name of God, extraordinary manifestation of bhakti. All of that, lowest pleasures to the highest devotional experiences, from the tamasic pleasures to the sattvic pleasures also, joys also, all of them are manifestations of one Ananda. Shankaracharya says, that ocean of bliss, of which the spray itself, for which gods and men are mad after, that entire ocean of bliss exists within you. Nay, it is you. That is Ananda. So just think, what is the grand conception of ultimate reality in Advaita Vedanta? I mentioned this many times, but I really like this conception. The great questions of philosophy. Philosophy has three branches. Metaphysics, or nowadays known as ontology, which answers the question, raises the question, answers, what is real? Is God real? Is the world real? Is mind real? Is consciousness real? Is Harry Potter real? What is real? That's the branch of philosophy called ontology. Second, how do you know? Know what? Anything. Suppose I say God is real. You will immediately ask, how did you know? So this question, how do you know? World is real. How do you know? I'll say, I see it. That is an epistemological answer. So the second question is, how do you know anything? How do you justify your claims, ontological claims? The branch of that branch of philosophy is called epistemology. How is knowledge possible? And finally, what's the point of it all? What can we expect in life? What's the highest prize here? What is beauty? What is goodness? This, the whole thing, many branches are there, ethics, aesthetics, they're all clubbed under one branch called axiology, the study of values. What is valuable here? What is the point, aim, goal, purpose? And now look at Vedanta. The answer gives direct answer to all three. You may agree or not agree with these. You may do philosophy or not these. But the answer is very clear. What is real? What is reality? Answer, Sat. Being itself, existence itself is real. All reality depends on Sat. All real things are nothing but modifications or appearances of Sat. If you're Vishishtadvaitin, Advaitin, you will say modification of Sat. If you're an Advaitin, you will say an appearance of Sat. How is knowledge possible? How is experience possible? Kena Upanishad question. We started whole day, we are doing this only. Answer, Chit. The teacher would have said ear of the ear, eye of the eye and all that. Answer is Chit, consciousness. Our entire conscious range of conscious experience is Chit. And what is the point of it all? What is the value? What is the purpose, goal? Ananda, bliss. And Vedanta says such a thing is there. Sat, Chit, Ananda, and makes the amazing claim, they are not three, they are one. Satchidananda, there are three names for it, but it is the same thing. which is the reality of all beings. That's why we call it Sat. It is consciousness itself. That's why we call it Chit. All knowledge is possible because of it. And it is the goal and purpose of everything. That's why we call it Ananda. It is Satchidananda. And Vedanta goes even further than that. And it says, not only such a thing is there, it is you. You are already it. You just need to uncover or realize it. That's all. And that's the whole of religion. Everything else, all worship, ritual, study, meditation, service, even on a larger scale, all ethics, all politics, all the good causes in this world, all our struggles of life, even life and existence itself, all is meant to culminate in this Satchidananda. It is the play of this one Satchidananda, and it is you. You are that, Tattvamasi. What a grand, grand conception. Where all cause and effect becomes one. Usually cause and effect are different, seed and tree. Well, all cause and effect is one, that is Sat. Where subject and object becomes one, that is Chit. Where enjoyer and enjoyed becomes one, that is Ananda. Usually enjoyer and enjoyed are different. I'm thirsty, I'll have a glass of water. Enjoyer and enjoyed. Consumer and consumed. But where they are one, that is Ananda. Drashta, Drishya are separate. I am the seer, you are the seen. But where they become one, that is Chit. And cause and effect are different. God is the cause, the world is the product, is the effect. But where they are one, that is Sat. And that's oneness, Sat, Chit, Ananda, is you. I mean, it doesn't get any more grand than this. And yet it is not megalomania, narcissism, grandiosity, because it's not talking about you as an individual. It's true of everybody. Even whether they know it or not. If you know it, you'll be called enlightened. The one who's unenlightened is as much Satchidananda as you are. This is the most democratic kind of spirituality. Swami Vivekananda said, this country is a democratic country, America. He said it's Vedanta is more possible here than in India. Advaita Vedanta. Because it's a country which loves freedom, one. Second, it understands human dignity. Third, it is a country of democracy. That is, power lies in everybody, not in one king. Similarly, Advaita Vedanta, power lies not in one God, in everybody. It's a democratized God, which is the God of Advaita Vedanta. Vivekananda said this. Yeah.
We'll have a closing song. After that, Ramakrishna Shan.
Then after that, what, there will be some instruction you will give.
Yeah, before that there will be some instruction. Okay, just wait for the instructions.
First instruction.
So first, once these songs are done, you are requested to go outside. The lunch will be served outside. We request you to not bring any food inside the building. Please consume the lunch totally outside. There are bins there and dispose it off there. There is no rush. We have enough time for the lunch, and Swami will take a break, and then we'll reconvene after about
1:45.
Yeah, we'll reconvene at 1:45. Okay, so there is enough time. It's about 1 hour 45 minutes that we'll have for lunch. So no rush. You can finish it outside and then come back. And when you come back, make sure your phones are totally silent. This does not need to be reminded, right?
চলে যাব ঠিক আছে গানটা হোক
ಬೆಳಗಿಸು ಶಿವಯನ್ನ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಯೋತಿಯನ್ನು ಬೆಳಗಿಸು ಶಿವಯನ್ನ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಯೋತಿಯನ್ನು ಭಕ್ತಿಯೆಂಬ ತೈಲದಿಂದ ಮನವೆಂಬ ಬತ್ತಿಯ ಬೆಳಗಿಸು ಶಿವಯನ್ನ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಯೋತಿಯನ್ನು ಭಕ್ತಿಯೆಂಬ ತೈಲದಿಂದ ಮನವೆಂಬ ಬತ್ತಿಯ ಬೆಳಗಿಸು ಶಿವಯನ್ನ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಯೋತಿಯನ್ನು ಭಾವವೆಂಬ ಮಡುವಿನೋಳು ಮುಳುಗಿಸು ಎನ್ನ ಭಾವವೆಂಬ ಮಡುವಿನೋಳು ಮುಳುಗಿಸು ಎನ್ನ ಸದ್ಭಾವನೆಯ ದಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಥಿರವಾಗಿ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸು ಭಾವವೆಂಬ ಮಾಡುವಿನೋಳು ಮುಳುಗಿಸು ಎನ್ನ ಸದ್ಭಾವನೆಯ ದಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಥಿರವಾಗಿ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸು ಭವಸಾಗರದಿಂದ ಬಿಡಿಸೆನ್ನ ಶಿವನೇ ಭವಸಾಗರದಿಂದ ಬಿಡಿಸೆನ್ನ ಶಿವನೇ ಪಾಮರರ ಮನವನ್ನು ಪರಿಶುದ್ಧಗೊಳಿಸಿ ಪಾಮರರ ಮನವನ್ನು ಪರಿಶುದ್ಧಗೊಳಿಸಿ ಬೆಳಗಿಸು ಶಿವಯನ್ನ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಯೋತಿಯನ್ನು ಇಂದ್ರಿಯವ ತಡೆಯುವುದ ಕರುಣಿಸು ಶಿವನೇ ಇಂದ್ರಿಯವ ತಡೆಯುವುದ ಕರುಣಿಸು ಶಿವನೇ ಈ ದೇಹವಾಂಚಲ್ಯ ಬಿಡಿಸೆ ನಗೆ ಹರನೇ ಇಂದ್ರಿಯವ ತಡೆಯುವುದ ಕರುಣಿಸು ಶಿವನೇ ಈ ದೇಹವಾಂಚಲ್ಯ ಬಿಡಿಸೆ ನಗೆ ಹರನೇ ಶಾರದದಾಸಿ ವಂದಿತ ಶಿವನೇ ಶಾರದದಾಸಿ ವಂದಿತ ಶಿವನೇ ಕಾರಿರುಳ ನೀಗಿಸಿ ಮನ ಶುದ್ಧಿಗೊಳಿಸಿ ಕಾರಿರುಳ ನೀಗಿಸಿ ಮನ ಶುದ್ಧಿಗೊಳಿಸಿ ಬೆಳಗಿಸು ಶಿವಯನ್ನ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಯೋತಿಯನ್ನು ಭಕ್ತಿಯೆಂಬ ತೈಲದಿಂದ ಮನವೆಂಬ ಬತ್ತಿಯ ಬೆಳಗಿಸು ಶಿವಯನ್ನ ಬೆಳಗಿಸು ಶಿವಯನ್ನ ಬೆಳಗಿಸು ಶಿವಯನ್ನ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಯೋತಿಯನ್ನು
vocal mic.
ear temperature changed our tuning. Everybody knows this song, I think, so please sing along. Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Sharane. Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Sharane. Kripa hi kevalam, Kripa hi kevalam, Kripa hi kevalam, Sharane. Kripa hi kevalam, Kripa hi kevalam, Kripa hi kevalam, Sharane. Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Sharane. Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Sharane. Sharana Gatoham, Sharana Gatoham, Sharana Gatoham, Sharane. Sharana Gatoham, Sharana Gatoham, Sharana Gatoham, Sharane. Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Sharane. Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Sharane. Namo Shri Gurave, Namo Shri Gurave, Namo Shri Gurave, Namo Namo. Namo Shri Gurave, Namo Shri Gurave, Namo Shri Gurave, Namo Namo. Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Sharane. Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Sharane. Ram Krishna Jai Jai Ram Krishna, 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 Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Hare Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Sharane. Kripa hi kevalam, Kripa hi kevalam, Kripa hi kevalam, Sharane. Kripa hi kevalam, Kripa hi kevalam, Kripa hi kevalam, Sharane. Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Sharane. Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Sharane. Sharanagatoham, 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 Sharane. Sharanagatoham, 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 Sharane. Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Sharane. Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Sharane. Hey. Namo Sri Gurave, Namo Sri Gurave, Namo Sri Gurave, Namo Namo. Namo Sri Gurave, Namo Sri Gurave, Namo Sri Gurave, Namo Namo. Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Sharane. Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Sharane. Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai 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 Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai 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 Ma. Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai 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 Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai 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 Ma. Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Sharane.
Okay, we'll chant Bhojan mantra. That means before eating, we offer a pranam that signifies that everything is Brahman. So we'll chant that. Om Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi Brahmagno Brahmanahutam Brahmaivate Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina Hari Om Tat Sat Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So Brahmarpanam, the ladle is Brahman, by which we offer. Brahmahavihi, whatever we offer, that is also Brahman. Brahmagno, the fire in which we offer, that is the Jataragni, the fire in the stomach, that's also Brahman. Brahma karma, and this, the work that I do, that is also Brahman. Brahmaivatina gandhabhyam, that means whatever results that we accrue, that also would go to Brahman. And this function is also Brahman. So everything is Brahman. This we are to think when we are, even when we are eating, we are offering. Thank you. Please. Yeah, please keep orderliness and there is no hurry.